Welcome into John Carroll High School, the opening of the the 2000 football season, at least for Joppatowne. Frank Mazzanotti, thanks for being back with me. Welcome in. John Carroll coming off a loss last week to St. Paul's. Talking to Coach Greg Commandor, he thinks it'll be an advantage for John Carroll, even though they lost last week, to come in with one game under their belts.
Well, certainly one game up on another team is always important. We got a game tonight with University of Maryland, and they're playing against a team that had a game against Navy last week. I believe it's Temple. And certainly you heard Coach talk about the value of having a game under your belt going into the opening part of the season.
Joppatowne is a team that's sort of changed in its image. You think of Joppatowne in the past, you think of speed, you think of a team without a whole lot of strength. Over the last 3 or 4 years, Coach Commandor and his staff have changed that image. Now you're looking at a team that really is a strength team. Brothers now, and this may be a little bit unusual, but James Murray and Phil Tillman, who are brothers, will be playing at tackle and guard, respectively. James Murray, 6 foot, 260 pound, bench pressing 370 pounds. And Phil Tillman, his younger brother, a junior, 6'2", 310. They anchor the line for Joppatowne.
We hear nothing but great things about both those players. It's going to be very interesting because they've got good size, and this is the part in the season when you really want to establish your running game. As the season progresses in football, you start to put in a lot of your outside type plays and a lot of your trick type plays. But right now, opening game of the season, typically what you're doing is your base offense and your base defense, and then as each week progresses, the coach has time to put some additional stuff in to try to compensate for where the strengths and weaknesses of his team are. With two players like Tillman and James Murray, we're talking about some real quality linemen and ability, if they set them to the right side of the offensive line, to really attack that defensive left side of John Carroll's. And this will be interesting to see if they come out and are able to do that.
People think about Joppatowne from last year, and they think about Bryant Jones, the all-everything running back who led the league in total yardage as a running back last year. This year he comes in a bit banged up with a knee problem, and he will play today, we're told. How many carries he'll get will be up into question. So that means that folks like Dallas Talley, the quarterback, Brian Smoot, 6'5", 210 fullback, and Doug Green, the tailback, are going to have to take over.
Yeah, and they're all quality players. We've watched them over the years. Brian is an outstanding running back, real hard runner, real workhorse type. The thing I was impressed with during the pregame warm-ups is the way both teams threw the football. So, you know, both John Carroll and Joppatowne can air the ball out. But, you know, in a game like today, Don, the bottom line is you got to see what happens in the trenches right now. I know John Carroll feels very strongly about their linebacker crew of Adolph and Black, two really outstanding linebackers. And then, again, we've talked about the power up front line of Joppatowne.
You're watching now the Joppatowne Mariners dressed in their white away uniforms with the new black pants. Perhaps not the best choice today. And speaking of choices, the black shirt you have on, Frank, we're sitting here in about, maybe 80-degree temperatures. The sun's baking us, and you're in black today. Good job.
Yeah, not a good choice. I think at halftime I may go out to the car and get the white jersey on. But you know, the heat today is going to be a factor, I think, because we've had a week of practice. These kids have acclimated to some real nice temperatures. I think we've been in the 60s, typically in the evenings, maybe even a little bit more like the 50s. So you know, the heat could be a factor. But you know, both these coaching staffs are strong on conditioning. They'll have their kids, you know, in the best physical shape. And again, we talked early on too, Don, about some of the injuries. I mean, both teams are coming in with a few of their key players banged up. And you know, it's tough when you go out that way. I know Dan Adamski is not going to be able to play today for John Carroll, and he's an outstanding football player for them, and it's going to be tough for him probably to sit on the bench and watch from the sideline. But both teams have a couple of key players banged up.
Yeah, that is a key. We were just informed that Dan Adamski will be out today. He has a problem with a glandular or maybe a throat problem, so he won't play. His younger brother, Greg, will start at the guard. When we think of John Carroll, we think of Nick Perry also as the band strikes up, just as we talk. Nick Perry, who's the senior nose guard. Everything last year, MIAA conference, all-county. He's a wrestler, track, all-county football player. Nick Perry, number 50, right in the middle of that defensive line, 6 foot, 215 pounds. He'll be key to John Carroll. And here come the Patriots now, led on the field by their head coach, Sean Ireton. Sean in his second year, last year 6-4. The year before, he was 8-1 as a JV coach. We talked about the Patriots losing last week against St. Paul's, a game that Coach Ireton says they should have won. They had the ball inside the 20-yard line a couple of times, fumbled the ball away. That was a key loss because when you look at the MIAA, St. Paul is one of the teams to beat in the MIAA.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And this is a lot for John Carroll in that they were able to play tough with St. Paul. The important thing right now is that game may have given them some actual incentive today to come out and play some inspired football. I'm sure, as you know, Don, when you coach and your team loses, you typically go out and you're more likely to correct a lot of mistakes on your team rather than pat yourself on the back. I'm going to give, see if I can give this drummer here a $10 bribe to back off just a little bit.
Talk about the officials you're seeing leading the teams on the field. Jerry Marcello will be the referee. Steve Von Cannon will be the umpire. Jamie Lacey will be the linesman, and then Joe Voschkel the line judge, and Larry Yoakum will be the back judge. You see some of the John Carroll players there with their backs to you. Identify some of them. Number 24 is one of the captains, Kevin Eldrith. Also number 38, and that's Greg Adolph, who will be one of the linebackers and captains. Number 23 is Matt Nicodemus, who's a tight end and also a defensive player, one of the captains as well. Number 52 is Matt Black, a linebacker, and of course number 50, Nick Perry, the young man we told you about. Meantime, for Joppatowne, we see number 44, and that's Dave Brown, one of the captains. Trying to see some of the other numbers over on the far side. Looks like, yes, number 75. And, of course, that's James Murray, the tackle, one of the captains. Along with, I believe, his brother will probably be out there, Phil Tillman. And John Carroll will receive. They'll be going from our right to our left across your TV screen. John Carroll dressed in the Notre Dame-like uniforms, the black tops with the gold dome and the gold pants. Joppatowne in the new black pants with the new numbers on their helmets, kind of exciting as well. And Frank, next week we get to go to Joppatowne and see their new stadium. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, a lot of talk about that. And you were telling me, Don, about this Channel 2 news coming out and spending a day at Joppatowne, which should put a lot of excitement into their that game for their team.
With Harford Tech. Now we're just about ready for our national anthem, which will precede the kickoff of today's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the presentation of our colors?
And now our national anthem on Jerry Gray Memorial Field at John Carroll.
To raise our memorial flag before every home football game. This flag was presented to us by the Spudis family in memory of their son, Ron. Ron was a football player at John Carroll and a member of the first graduating class in 1968. After graduation, Ron joined the United States Army and served on active duty in Vietnam. He gave his life in combat so that his fellow soldiers might continue to have theirs. He was awarded the Silver Star, the Bronze Star, and the Purple Heart posthumously. May we always honor this flag and remember the life of Ron Spudis.
a very stirring rendition of our national anthem played by the John Carroll Patriots Marching Band. In honor of Ron Spudis, they raised the memorial flag. And certainly as we go, Frank, from school to school, we understand how key a school is to a community, be it John Carroll, a private independent Catholic school, or one of our public schools as well.
That's correct, and that was a absolutely wonderful tribute. Actually, one of the most emotionally charged I've seen in regard to the national anthem.
Nice that the John Carroll community able to remember Ron Spudis by raising that memorial flag at each of the games. Young man who gave his life so that others might live, and anxious to go to North Harford this year as they dedicated a memorial garden to one of their fallen heroes there at North Harford. In fact, all 7 who perished in the Vietnam War. Just about ready now for the start of the game. This is the beginning of the 2000 football season in Harford County, at least as far as the public schools. John Carroll has had 1 game under its belt. Joppatowne starting off with a clean slate. Joppatowne will send back in deep receiving formation Mike Hunter, number 20, a sophomore, along with number 20, and that's Kevin Eldrith. Eldrith, 5'11", 160 pounds. He is a senior. Looks like that Mr. James Murray, will be doing the kicking off. He'll meet it from his own 45. Frank, I didn't catch a penalty that may have occurred. I'm not sure why he's kicking off from the 45. Are you?
No, I didn't see a flag, Don, or any indication.
Normally you would be,
they certainly were out on the field on time because they were out well ahead of.
Well, here we go.
Let's see. No.
He's kicking from the 45. He gets a squib kick, fumbled, and then finally fallen upon by Greg Adamski, number 75 for John Carroll. And that'll put the Patriots in good field position at their own 39-yard line. 1st and 10 as we start our coverage here on the Harford Cable Network of the 2000 football season.
That was a smart play there by John Carroll, number 75. Greg Adamski just falling on the ball, not trying to pick it up and run with it. And John Carroll starts off with good field position.
The Patriots will start off with T.D. Callahan, Sean Grody, and Kevin Eldrith in the backfield. Eldrith, the deep back, number 24. The give is to Eldrith off the left side. Good yardage. He's taken down after a pickup of about 3 or 4.
Just starting off with a base play, a power, what we call power football, off tackle, double teaming down on the tackle, and that's what you want to get. That's a nice 4-yard gain.
Tim Goebel, number 63, leading the play, along with number 52 in the ball game for, that's Matt Black. Black looks like he may be starting in the spot of Dan Adamski, who, remember, is out this ball game and will not be playing. Quarterback, T.D. Callahan. What a name for a quarterback.
T.D. Got a good arm on him.
Rolling now to his right, looking for the man, has his man. That's complete for a first down. And out of bounds, that's Matt Nicodemus, who takes it across midfield down to the 44-yard line of the Joppatowne Mariners. 1st and 10. Nice safe pass, Frank, on that first play. Roll to the right, find the receiver, hit him in the hands. Nice catch by Nicodemus.
Nice part about that play is they ran it to his strong side. What I mean by strong side for the quarterback is to his right. So it's a natural throwing motion. He faked the off-tackle play, and then they just waggled the running back into the flat, and there's nobody left because the outside linebacker's tied up on the run. And they can run that play all day long.
Tight formation. In motion to the near side. That's Ireton in the motion. Not a whole lot happening off the right side. Looks like it may have been Eldrith, the tailback, who takes it off the right side. Tackled by Murray after a gain of 1 or 2. 2nd down, about 8 yards to go. John Carroll took this ball on their own 39-yard line. They've marched now into Joppatowne territory. 3 plays, they're down to the 42-yard line.
Nice surge by the offensive line of John Carroll right now. Again, you got a 3 to 4 yard gain. If you can continue to do that, you're going to get a lot of first downs, Don. So Joppatowne's got to shore up defensively.
This time it's a tight formation, a power I. Smoot is the up back. Ireton the quarterback.
Got a 5-3 defense.
Pitch back,
option.
Here comes Eldrith. Hit by his own blocker and finally taken off his pins at about the 37-yard line.
Just running too far, running too straight up and down on that, Don. He's got to drop his shoulder and really get the yardage.
Dave Brown, the tackle on the play, 6'1", 195-pound senior for Joppatowne, number 44, one of the captains for the Mariners. John Carroll shuttling players in and out. Eldrith comes out. Into the ball game, number 43, Morgan Lohman, a junior, Loman will set up as the tight end. Looks like the wishbone formation we see for the first time. The give to the deep back. Going to be close to the first down, and I think he gets that first down. The he being number 31, and that's Nick Rich, a junior, 5'10", 180 pounds.
Nice little run and play, and once again, what you got to be looking at here is defensively, we are seeing Joppatowne really get pushed back. They've got to shore up the defense. They're in a 5-man line.
Second first down of the ball game for John Carroll. Again, they took the ball on the kickoff at the 39. They're now down to about the 32-yard line of Joppatowne. 1st and 10. I formation. Split back to the far side.
Pro eye, and there's that running
Ireton,
back.
he throws it into the ground, and I think he saw Joppatowne's number 10, Josh McKimmey, coming up. Nice play by Ireton, or by T.D. Callahan, I should say, who throws the ball to the ground.
Could see it, but on the backside, number 44 for John Carroll, wide open on a slant pattern.
Of course, he was going to the right was Callahan, and it would have been very difficult for him to throw back.
Yeah, well, it was a post pattern. It was there. Anybody up in the tower may have seen it. They may come back to that later on. He's got a strong enough arm to make that pass. And watching him in the pregame, you got twins right.
T.D. Callahan, number 16, the quarterback. Back to throw without a fake, rolling right. Now he's going to pull it down, and a flag goes down. That could be holding.
Yeah, I think it'll be offensive holding.
Tackle on the far side again of a couple. Frank, this will bring up a tough decision if it is holding. He picked up only a yard or two. If you're Coach Commandor, what would you do?
Yeah, you're going to take him back.
Holding is the call.
Especially you talked to me about the kicking game that John Carroll has. So, you know, it's apparent that you can't let them get into a field position where they can kick 3-point field goals.
Nick Queesgard, the kicker for John Carroll that Frank's talking about, he's made 6 out of 8 during his 3 years, or 2 years actually, here at John Carroll. Jerry Marcello tells us, is it holding? And Frank, they turn it down. They're going to take the play. Third down and 8. We'll see how that turns out. That's when you're the coach. You make the call, and then you hope you make the right one.
Yeah, I'm surprised because in a game of high school football, field position always seems to play a major part. And what you don't want to do, even if they get the ball back, you don't want to be deep in your territory. So any yardage you can push back into to your goal line is always going to play, I think, in your benefit.
James Murray, Phil Tillman, Randy Solly, Chris Robinson across the front for Joppatowne. Jeff Bates, Brian Smoot, and Dave Brown, the linebackers. McKimmey, Smith, Hymas, and Nelson, the deep backs. Waiting for the takeaway. With the ball, Callahan hemmed in. He's going to be taken off his feet. Nice tackle made by number 39, Brian Smoot, the 6'5", 210-pound fullback / linebacker. And that looks like a good call at this point by Coach Commandor.
Yep.
A loss of 4. All the way back to the 45. It'll bring up 4th down and 16.
And it looks like they're going to go for it, Don.
That's an interesting
Okay,
call,
here we go.
too.
We got a punter coming on.
Yeah, and the punter is Queesgard. He averaged 40.3 yards per punt last week. No, he's going to try the field goal. This will be a field goal of 51 yards if it is good. And the flag is down. It's going to be illegal participation, perhaps, and that might take them out of field goal range. Wow.
Well, that's confusion. Well, and that's really not the kid's fault on that.
51
right
yards, Frank. Do you know the record in Harford County?
I've seen him. I remember we had a boy, Schmidt, at Edgewood, hit about a 42-yard against Havre de Grace.
That's going to take them back 5, and that'll make it a 56-yard field goal if indeed they do it. That seems to have changed their minds.
Yeah.
A bit of confusion there on the part of the Patriots cost them a chance at a three-pointer.
Well, and they'll be surprised that was going to be a fake, too, Don.
Queesgard will be doing the punting. Gets it off. It's a high, wobbly kick out of bounds on the near side, off the side of his foot, and that's going to be a very poor punt.
Got a flag on number 44.
44 for Joppatowne.
Yeah, and
that's Dave Brown.
Unnecessary roughness.
That's after the play, so it will be Joppatowne's ball, but it's going to take the Mariners back from good field position at their 21, probably inside the 10.
Dave Brown has just got to use some good common sense. He was involved in a play a little bit earlier with the quarterback, and then he carried over to just now. And that's one thing with Joppatowne, any program, you can't afford to have mistakes like that on the field. I mean, that's just putting your team in a hole right now.
Football is one of those games where it's controlled mayhem, where you have to be aggressive, you have to be emotional, but you have to be smart about it.
Correct.
It's going to be just about at the 11-yard line as they take half the distance to the goal. And so the Mariners will start 1st and 10 on their own 11. 7:48 left in the first period. We have no score. Patriots took the ball on their 39, forced a punt. And now let's see what Joppatowne can do as they bring out their offensive unit of Dallas Talley, Brian Smoot, and Doug Green. High backfield. The give will be to the deep back. That should be Green.
Nice
He's
read.
going to be stacked up.
Real nice read by John Carroll's linebackers. We went with the guard pulling and filled the hole very nicely. Very good read. You know, we talked about this before the game, Don. A lot of teams today are really not going to hit and read type defenses. They're just penetrating, trying to get it deep in the backfield and make plays. And Joppatowne on that play pulled their guard, and boy, the linebacker read it beautifully and stepped up and plugged the hole.
James Murray, Chris Robinson, Randy Solly, Eric Peach, and Phil Tillman across the front for Joppatowne. Flanking to the near side is number 82, and that's Matt Jones. Offset eye, pitch back, coming to the deep back. He's got some yardage. He'll have the first down and more. The he being number 34, and that's Bryant Jones. Jones, the leading ball carrier in the county last year. We were told he would play, and you can see him going off the field. So Coach Commodore is going to be very, Commandor, I'll say that correctly.
Yes.
Coach Commandor is going to be very sparing the way he uses Bryant Jones today.
Well, let me tell you, you got on that play a key block by the two young men that we talked about, number 72, Phil Tillman, and number 75, James Murray. Both of them made beautiful blocks, really sprung that open. It's going to be interesting to chart and see how many times Joppatowne runs to the offensive right side, although now they've flip-flopped.
Flip-flopped them to the left now.
Okay, so we can pick that up.
That's the deep back, and that's Donnell Nelson. Nelson taken down off his pins. Good tackle on the far side made by Brendan Ireton, the sophomore son of the coach.
And there's a real question about that because, you know, you flip-flop those linemen. One concern that you would have to have is whether they have the technique to block both sides of the line. That you get more repetition at one side, you're usually typically a better blocker. Also, you're going to wear these guys down. Keep in mind this heat today, you got two big boys out there, over 260, 310. You know, you're looking at heat and flip-flopping them from side to side. They're on the right side now, Don.
Straight I formation this time. Back to throw is Talley. Throws over the middle, has his man, but through the fingertips of a number 44, Dave Brown. Brown had it, just didn't look it in. That'll bring up a third down. Third down and about 7 yards to go. The ball resting at the 27-yard line.
Probably the best pass play in football is that drag across the middle. Puts a lot of pressure on game action, play action on the linebackers, and you drag that short pattern across the middle. It was wide open and just couldn't handle the football.
Greg Adolph calling signals for John Carroll, number 38, the linebacker.
Big play here. Third down and about 7, 8 yards.
It's about 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first period. No score. See what Joppatowne comes up with. Flanker to the near side in the T formation, the wing T formation.
Yeah.
Looking for the double handoff, but they don't get it done. Jones is taken down his own backfield. Looks like that was trying to develop some sort of a reverse, Frank.
Yeah, well, what it was a wing
out.
offense. It was the Delaware wing, and they just, I believe the play was supposed to go back across field. And there was just too much penetration for it to happen. I know who was running the football, Don. I didn't get it.
It was Jones, Bryant Jones.
Jones made a great decision not to try to hand that ball off if it was, in fact, the reverse.
Dave Brown will be punting the ball away from about his own 11-yard line.
Very nice.
End over end kick, driving the receiver back.
Nice.
And a nice, no, he misses the tackle and fumbles into the hands of Joppatowne. It was Mike Hunter, the sophomore, fumbled the ball right into the hands of, it looked like, number 21, D'Angelo Goffigan. Goffigan puts the ball in Joppatowne. Excellent field position at the 30-yard line.
Well, as far as Joppatowne goes, everything there was just perfect. The snap, the long snap, which was very hard to find, was just a bullet. Great punt, and then great coverage. I mean, they were down on that ball so quickly that, you know, just everything was in place for that to happen.
Hunter shook the first tackle, but then couldn't get away from the second one and fumbled it right into the hands of Goffigan. Power I formation. Talley still the quarterback. They give to the deep back off the right side. Flag goes down. Could be holding.
Yeah.
Carrying the ball for Joppatowne was Doug Green. Last time Joppatowne played John Carroll, they had over 250 yards and penalties, losing 21-6 last year. And that is exactly what Coach Commandor doesn't want to happen today.
Yeah, and these two teams, as far as the get-go of this game, are very evenly matched. They both run very much the same type of offense, and they're both the type of teams that can move the ball, and they're both very good defensive teams. So right now, this looks like it should be an outstanding football game, Don.
Good defensive struggle, and again, taking last week's example as a 7-0 game where John Carroll lost to St. Paul's, they do have a strong defensive unit.
First and 20, Joppatowne.
Joppatowne, Solly the
Power
snapper.
eye.
Power eye to the left. Bryant Jones in the ball game, the big tailback, gets the ball, cuts it inside, still on his feet. Finally taken off his feet on a tackle by Nick Perry, the nose tackle, after a gain of about 3 or 4.
It'll be interesting to see. I'll start taking a look at, Don, whether or not John Carroll's flip-flopping to the sides the same way Joppatowne is, because Joppatowne, again, put their 2 big kids on the left-hand side and ran left.
And as you said, Frank, almost always, if you're looking for keys, wherever Tillman and his brother Murray are, that's where the ball is probably
Typically
90% of the time going to go.
Yeah, but I don't believe John Carroll's flip-flopping. I think they're just playing straight-up defense.
They're to the right this time.
But they're coming.
Here comes Talley, being taken down
They
off
were
his
coming.
feet on a beautiful tackle by Greg Adolph. Adolph, the second-year starter, academic star, track star.
Right between the center guard gap. Both linebackers had a blitz going. Really didn't have much time, and you just don't have enough blockers to pick up the linebackers as well as the defensive line.
That's a loss of 7
Nice
all the way
stunt.
back to the 47. That'll bring up a 3rd down. They've got to get all the way down to the 21 for a first down. The way I figured, that's 3rd and about 26 to go for a first down. Frank, you got any plays in your playbook for 3rd and 26?
Well, typically now, a screen, either a screen on the outside or a middle screen is a good play because you anticipate a pass, but not necessarily the screen play. So we'll see.
Smoothie up back. Jones the deep back. Talley back without a fake. Looking to try to throw long. Now throws it long. Has a man
Nice
open
arm.
in the end zone. Intercepted and now incomplete. In and out of the hands of Kevin Eldrith, who dropped the ball, had the interception. He was playing defense against, it looks like, number 82, Matt Jones, who was deep down there, had a step on him, but closing the distance was Eldrith, and he knocked the ball down,
And
bringing
Don,
up 4th down.
That ball was in the air 55 yards.
Wow.
I mean, we talked about the kicking game, you know, and the kicker for John Carroll attempting a 55 or 52-yard field goal. That's a great arm. And I'll tell you, even though that's an incompleted pass, if you're a defensive coordinator on the sideline, you're remembering that ball was thrown that far.
Another good snap. Dave Brown with the kick, a low kick this time. Driving Hunter back. He's going to hit and caught. Just as he caught the ball, knocked down by Mr. Smoot, Brian Smoot, the senior 6'5", 210-pounder. Boy, you got to raise that arm for a fair catch pretty soon.
Yeah, not knowing where anybody is, and it was such a line drive type kick, you don't have much time to make a decision. I think if it had more hang time, he most likely would have just fair catched it. Better thing than fair catch it at that point is just get out of the way, let it hit the ground and go in the end zone.
And the ball was at the 15-yard line where it will be 1st and 10. No score. 3:06 left in the first period.
But that's the fun part about sitting up here, Don, not having that ball come at you with about 9 white jerseys coming down right behind it.
Patriots now for their 2nd offensive possession of the ball game. T.D. Callahan, flag goes down.
It's like an offsides or motion. Probably was illegal motion because they seemed to blow the whistle before the snap.
That's exactly what it was. It'll cost the Patriots 5 yards, take them back to their 10-yard line, bring up a 1st and 15 from the 10.
And this is where, Don, it's real important, and as we talked about earlier, that field position. Not that offensively or defensively anything's going to happen, but your play selection is much more restricted right now when you're down this deep in your your offensive territory.
T.D. Callahan, the quarterback, Sean Grody and Kevin Eldrith in the backfield. Good run this time with the new man in the backfield, and that's Nick Rich. Rich, who's alternating in the backfield, picks up about almost 10 yards.
And give credit to Greg Smith on a really important tackle right there. Made the contact that really stopped a bigger play from happening, maybe even a touchdown. And that's the tough part about being that safety. You know, you're basically the last line of defense on these plays. And if he had not made that tackle, that could have broke for big yardage.
George Smith, the sophomore, 6'1", 175-pounder. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. The give to Rich again. He's being hemmed in and taken off his feet on a tackle by number 44, and that's Dave Brown.
Ball carried by number 30.
You know, so It's an interesting point, Don. A lot of the coaches today are changing technique on tackling. There was a time when the importance of tackling was you wrapped your arms around, you had a square bull neck. Nowadays, they're teaching more just coming up through the, underneath the armpits and through the man to sort of lift up and drive back. I'm not so sure I'm really sold on that type of tackling. And as this season goes on, it's going to be interesting because I know a lot of schools, coaches have adapted to that.
Big one here, Frank, 3rd and 4. Callahan with the ball, has a man. It's going to be incomplete over the fingertips of number 23, Matt Nicodemus.
Same thing I said earlier.
Down, Frank.
That backside post is wide open, number 44. I don't know if John Carroll has anybody watching that route, but if he has the time he has and he can look backside, it's going to be a big play for John Carroll.
And that's Derek Hardesty, number 44, twice has dragged from the left side to the middle part of the field. Queesgard back to punt again. Almost blocked. He does get it off. It's a good high kick coming down to the 45-yard line. Taken by Nelson. Nelson hemmed in and taken off his feet into John Carroll territory at the 44-yard line.
Taken down by number 34.
Ball at the 43-yard line of John Carroll. Minute 35 left in the first period. We have no score. Neither team has been really able to move the ball, although they've moved it marginally well. Joppatowne had the big chance on the fumble recovery, but couldn't move it, had to punt the ball away, and now they have their 3rd opportunity with the football. Give you the Joppatowne starting lineup: Murray, Robinson, Solly, Peach, and Tillman across the front. Deep back is Bryant Jones.
And this is where this is part, okay? You can just see the momentum kind of swing over now that they have that field position.
Boy, you have to be impressed with Jones, and you see how important he is to Joppatowne.
No doubt about it. Great running back. We've watched him over the years, Don. He's just outstanding.
He's a big kid, is Bryant Jones, number 34, 5'11", 195-pound senior. He's back in the ball game. Tillman and Murray to the right side. Look for the run to go that way. It's Jones off the right side. Not much happening. Good play defensively by that John Carroll defense of Bloodsworth, Perry, and Falagi. Gain of maybe 1 or 2 on first down.
Well, you just run that play. It's a dive play just to keep them honest and to make sure that they're playing, solid linebacker positions on the inside game. That's more or less what I always consider to be like the 1-2 punch in boxing. You hit inside, and all of a sudden, boom, you're going to make the play on the outside for the big yardage. Now, certainly you'd like to see the inside play go for big yardage, and when that happens, you're normally going to blow the other team off the face of the earth.
Coming left
There's
this
that
time.
Outside play.
Good tackle by Nick Perry. He hems in to Nell Nelson, and down he goes for no gain. And that'll bring up a big 3rd down, 3rd and 10. The ball still at the 20-yard line.
Taken down by number 50.
Closing seconds of the first period, 11-10 left on the scoreboard.
But you got to feel real good if you're Joppatowne right now. You have good field position. Your team's moving the ball. And defensively, they've been playing well. So
we're not sure about Joppatowne's kicking game. Haven't had a chance to see their kicker.
Well, their punting game is outstanding. I can tell you that.
If I'm scouting James Murray's kickoff, when he squibbed the ball, we don't know what they have as a place kicker. So that is the end of the first period as the band strikes up, and we enjoy the band. You're enjoying Harford County High School football on the Harford Cable Network. We're happy, Frank, to be back. It doesn't seem possible, but this is our 6th year of bringing high school sports on TV on the Harford Cable Network.
Yeah, it's been 6 really great years for the kids involved, the coaches. And I know you and I and Forrest have had a lot of fun doing these games. And it really does give parents and the school an opportunity to showcase their facility. The kids really get up for these football games because they know a lot of the county tunes in and wants to see how each team is doing during the year.
Speaking of being up, here we go, 3rd down and 10. The ball resting at the 25. Tally on the roll, being pressured, gets it off, has a man. That's Brown, incomplete, just off his fingertips, and then almost intercepted by Callahan on the far side. Well thrown, just a little bit tall, and Brown wasn't able to bring it in.
Dave Brown made a real nice effort on it, extended out. It was just a little bit long, but he was wide open. So it's a play that someone should chart and remember. We can come back to this because it was open.
That'll bring up 4th down. Now the interesting question is, do you try for the field goal? Do you go for it? A punt's not going to do a whole lot of good.
No.
So you go for it on 4th down.
They're going to go for it. Most likely we might see a pass or some type of trick play. That last time we saw some motion.
Smoot and Jones, Tillman and Murray to the right side.
It's pass.
Tally, back to throw, looking down the middle, has a man. Brown intercepted right at the goal line. That's Kevin Eldrith. Fumble recovered by Joppatowne.
This is unbelievable.
Eldrith makes the interception but fumbles it away and recovered by Bryant Jones, and Joppatowne has the ball back on the 5-yard line of John Carroll.
Unbelievable, that whole turn of events. And you can just see the air come right out of the sails of John Carroll. I mean, there's really, nothing you can do. A fumble like that just puts the offense right back in great position, gives them a 1st down.
On a very, very warm day, and that defense has been out there for a long time for John Carroll.
And they've got their backs against the wall right now.
Ball on the 5. I'll check it now. They put it down on the, looks like
10-yard line.
Yeah, about the 10 or maybe the 11-yard line. Flag goes down with the ball. That's Green, number 24. He stopped short of the goal line, but could be a holding penalty.
Well, I think it's offside on the left side or somewhere on the left offensive side. And again, that's that heat factor coming in, even on as far as the offensive line.
Wave it off, Frank, so the play will stand.
That's good, but the
Down
other
to the
part,
5.
These running backs are really carrying that ball out there like a loaf of bread. They got to pull that football in. They're exposing the ball. You get a helmet, hits that ball, and it's a fumble.
Nice run by Green, the tailback, the junior 5'7", 175-pounder, takes it down to the 5-yard line where it's 2nd down and 4. They can actually pick up a 1st down without getting the touchdown. Smoot, the big fullback, 6'5", 210 pounds, number 39. Also in the ball game is Jones, the tailback.
You see power football here.
Jones off the left side.
Nice
He's hit,
play.
Spins, gets a couple of yards.
36 for
34, Bryant Jones.
Looks like maybe 38. If
38.
Yeah, that's Adolph, the linebacker.
Real strong player for John Carroll. Really shows his savvy. Just stepped up and did not just scrape, but he plugged up. And what I mean by plugged up, he came upfield, really made a great hit.
On Jones, and of course, Bryant Jones, a very strong ball carrier. Jones comes out.
But I like Joppatowne's approach right now. They went into that power eye, and they're going to just run the ball down their throat.
Donnell Nelson, number 2 in the ball game for Jones. He's the tailback. 3rd down, 4 to go for the 1st down, 5 to go for the touchdown.
All right, in this formation, looking to go to the right.
No, he come back to the left, and he's hit, and down he goes. Again, it's Adolph, and again, it's Nick Perry. Check it, it's actually number 60, and that's Mark Falagi, who comes in and makes the tackle.
Number 38.
Frank, that's a 4th down, and now 7 yards to go for the 1st down, 8 yards to go for the touchdown. Check it, 6 for the 1st down and 7 for the touchdown. What do you do?
Greg Adolph. Well, you're in that power eye now. What you could do is go back to the power eye and just fake off of that and hit your tight end in the corner.
Joppatowne has had innumerable opportunities now 3 times inside the 20. Let's see if they can cash in here in the 2nd period. No score.
John Carroll's coming. They got a slant.
Tally
throws
it. It's going to be caught. That's Brown looking for the 1st down. He's close. Let's see now.
Very close.
Tillman says it's a 1st down.
He's had a couple opportunities to catch the ball, but that was a big one. A nice catch and a nice turn upfield.
And a nice throw, too.
Very nice. I like the way both quarterbacks have thrown the ball today.
Well, this is key. If it's a 1st down, Joppatowne retains the ball with 4 downs for a touchdown. If they don't get it, it goes over to John Carroll. Wow. Key play, key measurement right here in the first part. And it's going to be a little bit short, I think. It is short, and the John Carroll Patriots have held. Gosh, that had to be a couple of inches short, Frank. They talk about baseball being a game of inches, but football can be a game of inches, too.
But keep in mind, Don, I'm just counting right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players came off the field for John Carroll. So they've got to turn around from defense and go right to offense, deep in their territory, with basically 5 fresh players.
But it certainly has to pep them up that they were able to hold the Joppatowne when Joppatowne had the ball at their 11-yard line.
No doubt about it. But now the key is what play selection you have at this point of field. Joppatowne's really had the field position this entire half.
Ireton in motion from the near side to the far side. Hit almost knocked down. Let's see if that's a safety. That's going to be close.
It is.
No, the officials are going to say he got out of the end zone.
I'd like to see that on a
Rich was
instant
tackled.
replay.
I didn't get the number of the tackler, Frank. Who was the tackler, Coach? 72 Tillman was the tackler. Almost got him in the end zone. Second down, the ball just a nose outside the end zone. Second down, 10 yards to go, more than 10 to go.
This might be a situation after this play where you might just intentionally snap the ball out of the end zone, give them the safety, and then proceed from there.
Well, give them the 2 rather than the 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you're going to be punting deep in the end zone.
9 minutes, 25 seconds left till the half. No score. Joppatowne threatened 3 times inside the 10-yard line, inside the 15 at least. And now they've got John Carroll backed all the way down to the 1-yard line. Keeping it is Callahan. He's out of the end zone and has good yardage out near the 10, near the first down. Beautiful play by Callahan, and a flag goes down.
And that's typically where unsportsmanlike conduct would occur.
Boy, what a gutsy call by Coach Ireton. Yep, a personal foul against Joppatowne. That's going to get John Carroll out beyond the 20 to probably the 25. It was short of the first down, it appears, on the run. Big 15-yard penalty will give the first down and put the ball outside the 20-yard line to the 25.5-yard line.
I just got to make your blood boil if you're a coach to have a team in the hole and get them out of the hole with an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's go back to Coach Sean Ireton's call to allow Callahan to bootleg the ball deep in his end zone.
Callahan's got good feet. He can see the field. He's got the option to pass or run. And to be honest with you, his own man really knocked him off his feet. If he had gotten a block on that play, he might have went even for more yardage.
Frank, we were told by one of the John Carroll coaches that T.D. Callahan has had a broken ankle and a broken leg over the last 2 years. Of course, he would have been backing out Mike Leatherman at the quarterback position, but he finally gets a chance to play as a junior.
Yeah. Well, again, he's a gamey player, got a good arm on him, and I like that play selection because if he's in the end zone, he sees he's going to get tackled, he can always throw the ball to the sideline and not lose that, get that safety.
Coach Ireton talking to his team, you'll see on the near side. He has to be very, very pleased with what's happened. They've been backed up, they've bent, but they haven't broken. On the other hand,
big thing right now is this is an important drive for John Carroll, not to score a touchdown, but to sort of turn this field positioning around. I just can't emphasize, and I know I talk about this, but it's so important where you are in the field because it is critical to the play selections and the way you play your defenses.
Here we go, first down and 10, the ball at the 25-yard line. We just have been brought some water, Frank. Thank you very, very much, John Carroll. On the first down, it's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Yep, another 5. I'm impressed with both of these teams. I mean, they both came to play football, and both teams are showing a lot of guts in regard to the way they're playing, in regard to staying on the field, not getting a lot of breaks.
Boy, if you're Coach Greg Commandor, though, you look at your team having 2, 3 excellent opportunities and nothing to show for it. Pretty soon, you don't keep coming away without nothing until the worm turns.
You're exactly right, Don. Great point.
Ireton flanking way to the left. Straight eye backfield. T.D. Callahan, the quarterback, the junior, 6 foot, 175-pounder. Gets it to the deep back. Cutting back for first down and more.
Move.
That's Eldrith. Eldrith taking off his feet on a nice tackle. A good sure-handed open field tackle made by number 58, Bobby Daigle, but not before Eldrith is able to pick up a first down out near the 40-yard line.
Nice backside pursuit by Joppatowne.
4 plays and a penalty have gotten the Patriots out from their own 1-yard line all the way out to their own 37, where they face a first down and 10 now. 7 minutes, 57 seconds left in the half and counting. We have no score if you just tuned in. It's been Joppatowne with 3 really good possibilities of scoring, they haven't been able to cash in. Ireton in motion from the near to the far. Callahan rolling left, looking to throw. Now he's going to pull it down and run. He's got some yardage. Smith takes him off his feet, but not until Callahan gets the first down in Joppatowne territory.
You got to like Mr. Callahan, okay? Reminds me a little bit of the quarterback from North Harford High School.
Starlepper?
Starlepper.
Yep.
He's got both two-dimensional. He's capable of running the football and passing it. We've watched some real good quarterbacks. Was it Rafalski?
Rafalski for Bel Air.
Same type of quarterback.
Boy, speaking of North Harford, of course, last night, Friday night, North Harford lost to Elkton in a tough game beginning their season. So the Hawks, who lost only one time last year, now have lost already the same number of times this year as they did last.
Yeah,
Elkton, a good ball club.
Elkton, excellent. I've talked to a lot of people. They have a strong program this year.
Eldrith with the ball again.
Nice block.
Big hole. Close to the first down where Smoot takes him off his feet along with Smith. Eldrith picks up about 8 or 9 on first down.
You know, you always talk about that unsung hero. The key to that, if anybody was able to pick this up while watching this play, was Nicodemus, number 23 for John Carroll, made an outstanding block on a linebacker. And the important thing that he didn't just make the block, he stood on the block. In other words, he kept that block on that player so there was no backside pursuit.
And Falaji and Greg Adamski making the blocks on the right side to springing him initially. Ireton will flank way to the left. We have the I backfield. Eldrith is the deep back. Grody is the up back. T.D. Callahan, the quarterback. Taken away, given to Grody, the first man through. It's nice to let your fullback touch the ball once in a while. He blocks all game long.
Let me tell you right now, if you're John Carroll, you got to be feeling real good. I mean, we're talking this drive has probably been about a 4-minute drive from the end zone, okay? And they have totally shifted field position. Even if they don't get anything else, the rest of this particular down series, this next 4 downs, and punt the ball, they're going to put Joppatowne deep in their territory.
And don't forget about Mr. Quizguard if they get inside that 25.
Well, they're there now. I mean, I think they can. They won't be afraid to punt right now.
Callahan still calling signals. Been impressive here. First time we've had a chance to see him. The give is Eldrith off the right side. Gets into the backfield. Shakes the tackle. Shakes the second one. Finally knocked out of bounds on a saving tackle by McKimmey. But he gets all the way down inside the 20 to about the 18.
And that's Kevin Eldrith. If I'm not mistaken, that's the coach's son, isn't it, Don?
No, Eldrith is not the coach's son. He's,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the coach's son is Brendan Ireton, number 12.
Oh, okay.
But whoever his parents are, I'm sure they're proud of him.
Kevin, a real super run.
Yes, it was. Very smart, too. He sees the hole and then springs it outside. It looked like that play was supposed to go off tackle. He saw the hole wide and just sprang it outside.
Dropped his shoulder, made a real nice play.
Sean Grody coming off the field, number 36. Looks like he might have a stinger on that left shoulder.
Kevin Eldred on that last play just really swiveled his hips, really didn't get a good target to hit at, and he didn't get a lot of blocking on that play. A lot of that was his own personal effort.
If you just tuned in, we're 5:40 left in the half. We have no score. It's been all Joppatowne, but now all of a sudden the worm has turned and John Carroll has taken the momentum. In the ball game for John Carroll, number 38. That's Ryan Cavey. Check it, it's Greg Adolph, who will be playing fullback now in place of number 36, Grody. Grody, they're working on that left shoulder. Again, that fullback, an unsung hero. Sam Gash kind of fullback that makes the blocks and doesn't get to carry the ball very often. Eldrith with the ball. Taken off his feet after a gain of 2 or 3. Tackle made by Goffigan D'Angelo. D'Angelo Goffigan, who had made that fumble recovery early in the ball game. Gain of 4 or 5 on first down.
Nice gain. Joppatowne right now is on their heels, and they're really in trouble defensively. They need something big to happen, and so far, John Carroll has accommodated them with some plays that, just giving the ball over when they really shouldn't have done that.
Well, Eldrith is the kind of back that doesn't look like he's gaining a whole lot, but it's always 4 or 5 positive yards. He has the ball again off the left side. This time, he's taken off his feet. It looks like James Tillman.
James Tillman just sitting waiting on him on that. No real block on
Phil
him.
Tillman, excuse me. I confuse him with his brother, James Murray. Sorry about that, Phil. 6'2", 310 pounds is Mr. Phil Tillman.
It's like running into a concrete wall.
Wow. With arms.
Yes.
Concrete walls you can sort of bounce off of.
Yeah.
Big play now, 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Been a 10-play drive all the way from their 1-yard line. Callahan calling signals.
Four-man defensive line for Joppatowne.
Wishbone offense. Still with the ball, Callahan. Being rushed, gets it off, has a man.
Nice catch.
Caught on the far side. That is
nice
the coach's
catch.
son, Brendan Ireton, number 12, making the catch. And that's enough for another
now
first
that's
down.
The coach's son.
It surely is.
And what a catch. Nice extension, reached out. Probably heard me speak a little earlier about him. Figured I better make sure I do something positive on this drive for Dad. Beautiful extension. Nice call, too. And let's not take anything away from that pass.
Rolling to your left.
I really like the way both of these quarterbacks throw the football with a lot of confidence, tight spiral, and just enough touch where somebody can handle the ball.
First down, the ball at the 12. The deep back this time, that's Rich with the ball. Down inside the 10-yard line.
I wouldn't be, right now, if I was Joppatowne, I'd be thinking about a timeout. You got 3:30 left. You know, this team is driving down their throat. Their kids are apparently tired. They need to be regrouped. Maybe not a bad idea to take a timeout.
2nd down, 7 to go. The ball inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. They can get a first down at the 3.
John Carroll's just moving the ball right down their throat right at this point, doing anything they want, pass or run.
Boy, and think about it. This could be a 99-yard drive.
Awesome drive.
Almost a safety. Phil Tillman thought he had the safety earlier. Rich with the ball. He's going to be hit and taken off his pins. Good tackle by Randy Solly.
Nice play by Randy. Came in, nice tackle, read the play. Now we've got a 3rd down and about 9 yards, and you'd be thinking pass.
Into the ball game now, Nick Perry coming in, along with number 43, Morgan Lohman. 3rd down, they can get a first down inside the 5 at about the 3.
Last pass that they threw, they rolled out left on.
Ireton's in the backfield, along with Rich. Wishbone backfield.
Strong side right.
Still with the ball, Callahan rolling this way, looking to the end zone, this time a bit long for Ireton. And that'll bring up 4th down, and look for Mr. Quizgard to be coming in to try that 3-point field goal. What wind there is, Frank, appears to be in his face, but the wind should be inconsequential with a young man with this kind of leg. 14-play drive, stalls out at about the 11-yard line. Quizgard in, Ireton will put it down. He'll be meeting it from about the 17. That would be a 27-yard field goal right in the middle of the field. Takes a good snap in a good spot, which they get. Here's the kick. It's up. It is
baby,
perfect.
Baby.
At a
Right
10 or 15 yards, and we have a score. Finally, Nick Quizgard with a 27-yard field goal.
Very nice drive.
3-0.
Nice drive by John Carroll. Well designed and great effort on some of the passing routes as well as the run.
Well, if you have some, let's say, measure of positive, if you're Joppatowne, it is that you didn't give up 7, you only gave up 3. But John Carroll had the ball. Chief Frank, I didn't write down exactly when they got the ball, but that was about an 8-minute drive.
At least, yeah.
They took it 89 yards and finally settled for the field goal.
Ate up a lot of clock. They should go in if they squib kick the ball here or get any type of good kick. They should go into the locker room with a 3-0 lead right now.
We know, too, that Quizgard averages the ball to the 2.3-yard line in the 2 years that he's kicked the ball.
Well, he's got a lot of foot. That was a sweet kick.
They're moving the ball up. They're going to switch them around.
Ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the lineman for the Minnesota Vikings?
Minnesota Vikings.
Marshall.
Yep.
He picked the ball up wrong way. Marshall ran it 70 yards.
That makes highlight films every year. I'm sure it makes his day.
And I'm sure he's happy that we mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. He's probably tuned in right now.
I'm sure he is.
I'm just glad you brought it up, Don, because he's bigger than I am.
That was Frank Mezzanotte who brought it up. I'm sitting here commentating on the game. Nick Queesgard will meet it. Back deep is number 24 for Joppatowne, and that's Doug Green, along with number 2, Donnell Nelson on the near side. Boy, he has that ball angled back
way back.
tremendously.
Yeah, I noticed that myself.
He squibs
Squibbing
it down the middle, rolls and picked up by Donnell Nelson. Nelson looking for blockers, doesn't get a whole lot, gets it out to the 20. So Joppatowne will have it 1st and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line with 2:11 left in the half.
I'll tell you, Don, I take my hat off to the kids who play on kickoff or kickoff return teams. That is just suicide. I mean, every time the coach looked around and he looked my direction, I turned my head, looked away. I did not want any part of either one of those teams.
What do you think of the strategy of having Queesgard squib the kick?
I think it's a good move. I mean, you know, you got the clock on your side at 2:11. He's got a strong foot. It was a good squib, and just another bounce, it might have went through the middle there. So I like that strategy. I'm not much into kicking the ball unless you really got an outstanding kicker up in the air.
Tally to throw long, looking for one man, and just overthrown. He does have a nice, strong arm. Overthrows Matt Jones. Matt Jones was clear by about 5 yards.
Yep, he was.
The connection wasn't made.
And if you're John Carroll, defensive secondary coach, you're going to really raise heck with somebody, because at this point there should be no one getting behind you. I mean, there's no reason to let a guy, you know, beat you by that many yards. He was a good 5 yards behind.
Frank, what do you think of the strategy of throwing long? Now they're facing a 2nd and 10. John Carroll could conceivably get the ball back for another effort.
Yeah, that's a question, but you got to use what's in your playbook, and you got to go what's there. If he catches the ball,
Tally back to throw. It's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Knocked down by linebacker on that side, Morgan Lohman. That'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
On those plays, if it's caught, we're over here saying, what a great call, you know, and you don't anticipate that defensively. You're figuring they probably might run the clock out, go in. And I like what Joppatowne's doing, because they're coming after them, you know. And
now you've got 2 minutes left in the half. Conceivably, if they throw another pass and don't get the first down, have to punt it, John Carroll could get the ball in good position.
That's true. But you know, I would have to say Joppatowne has a lot of confidence in their punting game with that long snap and the punter and the coverage they've been getting. I wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't be in the back of my mind. Now, if I had a real weak punting game, my philosophy would be a little bit different on that series.
Tally waiting for the snap. Taken away without a fake. Looking deep.
He's got him again.
He's got his man. It's going to be overthrown again. It looked like the man on the far side, Hunter, actually stopped running and the ball kept carrying.
Yeah. If he would have just kept running, he had a real shot at that ball.
Boy, that ball was in the air down to the 35-yard line from about his own 10. Wow, is that 65 yards?
He's got an arm on him, I'm telling you, Don.
So we have Queesgard who can kick the ball 52 yards, and we have a guy, Tally, who can throw the ball 65 yards.
Throws a good spiral, and I'm telling you, he's not missing by much. And a big play could put Joppatowne back into this football game.
Well, here's the key punt now. Brown will meet it.
Got to have the good long snap.
It is a good snap. Brown gets it off. It's a low kick, returnable.
There's that coverage
Smoot
again.
is able to make him miss, but down he goes. Good tackle.
Smoot was right where he needed to be, and he caused enough of a hesitation on the return his part. And I'll tell you, that line drive kick with Smoot getting down there, I haven't been able to watch it, but really, John Carroll's got to find out where Smoot is and get somebody on him. He should not be able to get down the field on that ball, line drive ball, that easily. There should be somebody on him.
That's Mike Hunter who makes the return and holds on to the ball this time.
Well, what do you think
Giving John Carroll good field position, 1:42 left. They've got the ball at the 46-yard line of Joppatowne.
Now, you got to be looking for pass. Okay, you got pro eye.
Flanker this way. To give to Eldrith off the right side. Good yardage. Down inside the 40 to the 39. 135 and counting.
Too much yardage. Joppatowne's really in trouble defensively right now. I don't know what's happening to them, but defensively, they're giving up 5-6 yards on a...
Frank, I'm a little surprised they're letting the clock run down. It's a minute 22, a minute 21. You'd think they'd be wanting to manage the clock a little bit better.
Take a timeout.
John Carroll we're talking about. Now 112 and 111. Of course, that's unofficial, but that's probably pretty close.
Well, be honest with you, Don, again, in the back of their mind, they may be thinking, we've got a field goal kicker. Let's just get enough field position. Forget the touchdown. Let's get another 3.
Ireton in motion. Callahan gives the ball off to Eldrith.
Tackles. Got to run the hole.
Eldrith is hit and taken down on that far side.
Kevin had the inside open and just made a decision to bounce outside, and that's where the defense was being blocked to.
Now the timeout is called with 53 seconds left. They're a yard short of the first down, are the John Carroll Patriots. 3rd down and a yard, the ball resting at the 37-yard line. Not sure exactly how many timeouts.
I believe they have one more. I don't recall them using a timeout until right now.
There was a timeout taken earlier, but I think it was taken by Joppatowne.
Joppatowne.
3-0 is our score. Quisgard on the 27-yard field goal with 2:20 left in the half. They were able to hold Joppatowne on 3 long passing plays, no completions, and now they get the ball back on a punt in Joppatowne territory. Opening game for Joppatowne. They lost last year 21-6 to John Carroll, looking to try to avenge that. Joppatowne 4-6 last year. You know, Frank, a lot of people, Greg Commandor talked about having the target on their back. A lot of folks are looking at Joppatowne as the North Harford of the year 2000.
Well,
the surprise team I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that could be what I've seen of them right now. Other than this, these past 2 offensive drives by John Carroll, they look very, very good. It's a solid team. You know, point 2, Don, I forgot. You know, we've been talking about Sean Ireton's son, but we also have a young man on John Carroll's team, Tim Perry.
Nick Perry is Tim Perry's
son.
Yep. And Tim Perry, of course, the assistant coach here at John Carroll.
Defensive coordinator.
Back to throw, Callahan. Being rushed, and he's going to be taken. No, he gets rid of it.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Complete to the fullback. Flag goes down. Let's see what that's all about. The ball was complete to Greg Adolph.
Now, a lot of coaches
went for the first down, but let's see what the flag is all about.
I think it's an illegal receiver downfield.
That's exactly what the call is.
Yeah, usually you're going to get that, but I'll tell you what, a coach could go nuts on that. JTD Callahan is the type of kid who makes something happen, and you hate to take that away from a kid, but in a certain situation,
they're going to wave it off. They're going to say, I think since the pass was behind the line of scrimmage, they're going to say that there was not an illegal.
Well, that's fine. As long as they can make that decision. I know. Oh,
what a play.
Well, Joppatowne is not happy right now.
It's going to be a first down. That would have been a fourth down.
Coach Commodore is not pleased with that call.
And now the officials are getting together and saying, I think the rule is, Frank, if the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage,
you're correct, Don.
Then there is no illegal receiver downfield. Right. Jerry Marcello picking up the flag and putting it in his pocket. Greg Commandor saying, look, you've got to throw the flag. Jerry Marcello. And now the Joppatowne Mariners are saying they're happy. They are going to say, yes, it was illegal receiver downfield. They must have felt that Greg Adolph was beyond the line of scrimmage, Frank, is the only thing I can say.
It's hard. I don't know where the line of scrimmage was, and that's why, hey, I tell you what, the good thing is the officials got together, didn't rush through it, didn't tell everybody to shut up, and this is the call, and I like that.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is that loss of down as well?
Yeah, it should be.
Now, I guess maybe in high school federation rules it isn't, Frank, but...
Well, and again, which are they playing? Private school rules, public school rules?
I'm not sure. In any event, what I do know is third down and about 8 yards to go.
And that's what we're going to report.
The ball at the 42-yard line. They've got to get down to the 37 for a first down. Callahan still with the ball, being rushed. Now it's going to be hit and taken down, almost fumbles the ball and pulls it in, and that now will be fourth down. Tillman on the tackle, along with number 58, Bobby Daigle. And now Coach Commodore I should say, has got to be very happy about his team.
Well, I'll tell you this, Don, I'm just really, really surprised that in their offense, John Carroll has no shotgun. And that's a typical pass situation. You got a kid like T.D. Callahan. He's got a great arm on him. All he's got to do is see the field. There were players open, just the penetration's coming on him too quick.
Frank, explain this one to me. They've called timeout. They're fourth down and 10 with the ball at their own, at the 47 of Joppatowne. Unless they're out to try a Quisgard on about a 60-yard field goal, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let the time run out.
Well, Don, I didn't pick up who called the timeout. Was
John Carroll did.
John Carroll did, because I was going to say, I thought Joppatowne would have called a timeout maybe to try to get a blocked punt here.
With 10 seconds to go in the half, John Carroll leading by 3-0. It's been an exciting first half. It's been far more filled with action than a 3-0 score would believe.
Yeah, it has. Both teams have moved the ball, and there's been some exciting type plays. even though they're unorthodox, to say the least.
Yeah.
We've seen some razzle-dazzle crazy stuff happen the whole first half. And one thing that I think is really making me feel good is we got a good football game on our hands.
Yes, we do. Greg Commodore's got to be just a little bit unhappy about the fact that his team was not able to move in and score. They're going for it, 4th down and 10. You'd think that they'll probably throw for the end zone. Nope, they give it to Eldred. That's what I know. Now let's see if Joppatowne calls a timeout. 6.7 seconds left in the half. The ball will go over to Joppatowne.
I don't get it. I really don't get that whole sequence. I don't get the timeout, nor do I get, all you're doing is giving the other team an opportunity here.
And we don't know what the time is. The time says 6.7 on the clock, but
that may not be official.
6 seconds left in the half.
Well, it's official.
John Carroll Patriots 3.
But here's the key. You got Joppatowne, who's shown that they're able to get receivers behind the secondary of John Carroll, and this kid could put the ball out there towards the end zone.
And this kid is Dallas Talley.
And they're only down by 3.
Smoot in the backfield, Bryant Jones in the backfield. Hunter on the near side. Back to throw is Talley. He puts it up, looking for a man and just overthrown. Looking for George Smith, number 27. Smith was open. Let's see what the situation is. If we still have more time left, it'll be, the clock shows no time left in the half. Setting the clock, I believe he said, Jerry Marcello, for 27 seconds. And if that's true, then Joppatowne would have at least 2 more chances. Yeah. Wow. That's a great thing about being up here in the booth, being able to second-guess coaches.
Yeah, well, they know their players. They know what their strengths and weaknesses are. They see the big picture.
Now we're told it's 2 seconds, not 27. So 1 more play left for Joppatowne, unless there's a defensive penalty. Back to throw Talley. Throws it up for grabs. It's going to be almost intercepted. Ireton down there looking for the rebound was number 24, Doug Green. Had that ball bounced the other way off Ireton's hands, Green could have taken it in for the touchdown. But as it is, that brings the half to a conclusion. John Carroll leading by 3-0. Frank, your assessment of this first half?
Well, I think to look at it, we've seen the players that we knew were going to be important players for both teams do their thing and come up strong. I think 3-0, you got to feel real good right now if you're John Carroll, especially on that drive. And if you're Joppatowne, you got to go in the locker room thinking, what do we have to do defensively to slow up John Carroll? Because they were really moving the ball very easily against Joppatowne's defense. John Carroll, you got that weapon, and that's that opportunity to kick that field goal at any given time, plus the extra point is almost assured. So, there's a lot of half to play this, second half, and we'll see what adjustments they make to come out with.
And Frank, as you said, we have one whale of a game. So we're going to take a little break here, and we'll come back with more action and the second half of this ball game, where John Carroll leads by 3-0 over the Joppatowne Mariners from John Carroll. We'll take a break and come back in a few moments. Along with my partner Frank Mazzanotti, 3-0 at halftime. The John Carroll Patriots scoring the only points of the ball game. That came on a field goal from 27 yards out by the fine kicker for John Carroll, Nick Quisgard, again with 2:20 left from the 27-yard line. It's been a back-and-forth game where both teams have had opportunities. In truth, Joppatowne has the better opportunities, getting fumbles inside the 5-yard line, getting within the 1, almost getting a safety. But, Frank, they weren't able to break through.
And the important thing is that John Carroll didn't fold a tent on that apparent almost touchback, and then also that 90-yard drive that they had really showed a lot of class on their part. The big thing coming in here is you've got that extra offensive weapon of Nick Quisgard, who can kick the ball. We've seen him be very successful on the extra, the field goal attempt that he made earlier in the game. So, Joppatowne's got to really shore up their defense, and they cannot let John Carroll get offensive possession over the 50-yard line.
Well, Joppatowne will get the ball, at least apparently so. The kickoff coming by Quisgard. It'll be going from our left to our right, so the Joppatowne Mariners will have a chance to grab the momentum quickly here at the beginning of the second half, down by 3-0.
And you can see this is going to be a normal kickoff. We talked earlier on the ball being set. by Quizguard, I'm sorry, flat. He's got it upright right now. So let's see what type of foot he has on this kickoff.
Quizguard about to meet the ball. Deep downfield is Donnell Nelson, number 2. Nelson will take the ball at about his own 7-yard line. Here he comes. Up the middle, he's got a lane. Breaks into the clear. One man to beat, that's Quizguard. Jukes him inside and then falls down across the 50-yard line at the 49.
Nice field position.
Just exactly what Joppatowne needed, Frank.
Yeah, and the other thing with Joppatowne right now, Don, I think it's safe to say what you got to be worried about if you're John Carroll, I think it's going to take a big play, either like a kickoff return or the way they've thrown the ball, you know, a big play off of a pass-type play to get Joppatowne into this football game and get them some points on the board.
Donnell Nelson with the big run back of about 47 yards. Mariners will start with a power I backfield. Smoot is the up back. Talley the quarterback. Talley back to throw.
He's wide open, 44.
That's Brown. Complete at the 30, inside the 20-yard line, and finally out of bounds he goes. Dave Brown, 6'1", 195-pound tight end, catches the ball at the 30, goes inside the 20 for a first down.
And there's no doubt that there's a connection between Brown and his quarterback. He's been the primary receiver the whole game out of the tight end position. And again, as I alluded to, the big play is what Joppatowne has going for him against John Carroll.
Well, that was a slow developing play in the backfield. Good blocking by that Mariner offensive line.
Yep, a lot of play action, but you got those 3 running backs picking up blocks too.
Power I backfield again. Bryant Jones is the deep back. He gets the ball right up the middle. Following the big blocks of Phil Tillman and James Murray, he picks up about 2 or 3 on first down. And now it's gut check time for John Carroll, Frank.
Yep, and right away you come out, you know, and you know Joppatowne had to be in that locker room, and I'm sure there was some real strong words thrown out at the team about their performance in the first half. They had many opportunities, and you said it, Don, and you hit the nail on the head early in the first half. There were 2 or 3 golden opportunities that Joppatowne did not cash in on. They cannot allow that to happen, and this will break their back right now in this particular start of the second half if they don't pick some points up on this particular series.
Tight ends on both sides, power I formation. The give to the deep back. And that's Doug Green. Green gets good yardage down close to a first down. Nice cutback by Doug Green.
Very nice cutback. Planted, went back across grain, picked up some extra yardage. It started off as a wide play, more like the type of running you see Gale Sayers and those running backs get, where they get the ball deep in the backfield and then they're looking for the holes. You don't know where the blocks are going to, they sort of position the blocks for themselves, and that's what he did there.
Frank, young people out there saying Gale who?
Yeah, maybe I guess, I don't know, Don, give me a
Sanders?
name. All right, Sanders. Any of those pro running backs can do it nowadays.
Sanders.
They're all good.
Again, the power of formation.
Nice
Down he goes.
penetration
It
and
could be a fumble.
Fumble. I think Joppatowne has it.
Looks like John Hymas, number 28. Hymas has knocked off his pins as he entered the hole. They're saying 4th down. I don't believe that's
that last play
4th down. Frank, that's not 4th down, is it?
They're saying
Maybe
4th down.
Maybe I lost a down there.
I'm surprised on that 3rd down that they didn't come back. They really have the opportunity to throw that ball on John Carroll, and I don't know if the running game is going to get it quite done.
This is another key play. 4th down and 5 yards to go. I indeed did lose a play. It is 4th down.
They get a first down here.
They need it. Turning the ball
They're
back
in a
over.
wing. Actually,
backfield.
with motion. They
Wing
threw the
in
ball
motion.
out of this last time.
Talley, the quarterback, back to throw without a fake, being rushed. He's going to be hit and fumbles. Recovers his own fumble, but it doesn't matter. Big play by number 60, Mark Falagi.
What they got, just a suggestion, what they need to work on is if they're going to do that motion, they need to run some plays out of that motion too to set themselves up. Does that make sense? You know, they're predictable. They go to motion 2 times now and they've run pass out of that. And again, that drive really was a nice drive by them, but it's got to deflate them a little bit, not getting any points. And apparently that's where you can really see the impact of a Nick Quizguard on a game like this, because I'm telling you right now, if Joppatowne had a Nick Quizguard, there would have been 3 points. We'd be tied up.
Very good point. It's cooled off a bit here in the second half, Frank. Not quite as hot as it was in that first half.
No, it feels good now, Don.
The give.
Nice tackling.
That's Eldrith off the right side. Eldrith had 55 yards in the first half. He's the leading ball carrier in the ball game. 13 carries and 55 yards. Picks up about 2 on first down.
Real nice tackle by Jeff Bates. coming off the scrape and plugging that hole once again. Good form tackle.
Jeff Bates, number 32. Brian Smoot, number 39. Dave Brown, number 44, the linebackers. The deep defensive four for Joppatowne. Josh McKimmey, number 10. George Smith, number 27. John Hymas, number 28, and Donnell Nelson, number 2. Along the line, James Murray, Phil Tillman, Randy Solly, and Chris Robinson. That the defensive unit of Joppatowne.
Look for pass here, Don.
T.D. Callahan going all the way at quarterback. Gives off instead to Eldrith off the left side. Flag goes down. Normally a hold when it's thrown from that back judge.
Kind of surprised. 2nd down and 8, 9 yards, and they're not throwing a ball.
He loses about 4 or 5, does Mr. Eldrith.
I like T.D. Callahan throwing in that situation.
Look what the flag is all about. They're going to put the ball back at the line of scrimmage and then figure it out. Last time, Coach Commandor took the play instead of the penalty, much to Frank's surprise.
Well, again, Joppatowne, you know, they know their personnel. They know what they want to accomplish.
We're talking to Dave Brown. Let's see what Dave's decision is. Holding, declined again. They'll take the loss and bring up third down, and maybe, I thought the ball was a bit further back, but they put it down at the 22-yard line, 3rd and 11. 3-0, 8:24 left in the third period. John Carroll leading. They scored in the second period on a 27-yard field goal by Quisgard. Wide receivers to the near side. That's Derek Hardesty, number 44.
Twins
along
right.
with Brendan Ireton. Back to throw. The throw
Pop
coming.
pass to
Caught.
tight end.
Complete. Flag down. He could go. Let's see if they can catch him. That's Matt Nicodemus finally taken off his feet, but way back here at the 20-yard line. Jerry Marcello says, not so fast. Let's bring the ball back. Little slant pattern.
I'm wondering if they had twins right, and I'm not so sure the twins were set up. One of the twins, one of the receivers has to be off the line of scrimmage. It might have been they were both lined up on the line of scrimmage.
Talking to Coach Sean Ireton, and Sean, as you can imagine, is not happy at all, but it's going to come all the way back. Instead of the ball being down at the 25-yard line of Joppatowne, it's coming all the way back inside the 15.
You think he's going to take this one, Don?
I think he might.
Okay, I'm going to say this time they will take him
for
back.
sure. We got something clarified.
Let's see if it's illegal formation.
They're saying offensive pass interference. Offensive pass interference is the call.
It's
and I
hard
believe
to
that's,
say.
I think that's loss of down too, Frank, which will bring up a 4th down. The ball inside the 10-yard line at the 8-yard line. Timeout for John Carroll, and that's tough too. They were not really straight on what down it was and what they had to do, and that's going to cost them a timeout.
Well, that happened once earlier too today, where there was some confusion as to whether they're going to go for the field goal.
Yep.
Then they sent the field goal team out, and those are things that happen in the early part of the season. You can practice that all you want, but until you get game-like situation, the excitement of the crowd.
I don't think they understood or realized or had the idea that they were going to lose the down at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think they thought it might have been 3rd down, but instead when the referee said it's 4th down, they said, whoa, we got to get that punting unit in here.
Yep.
Now this is key. You've got a big punter in Quisgard who last week averaged 40.3 yards per punt. But he's going to be punting from his own end zone, so it puts pressure on the snapper, on the blockers, and Joppatowne should get the ball in good field position.
Sun's not a factor for the guys catching the ball, so they should be able to get a good catch.
Here's
Sun's
the punt.
behind him.
It's a high end-over-end kick. Donnell Nelson lets it go.
What a bounce,
and it goes down inside the 40-yard line to the 36, to the 36-yard line. And that is the punt. Let's count it up. 42, 66-yard punt. Wow. Maybe a 40-yard punt in the air and then the extra 26 yards.
So far in this game, he's my player of the game. What you think?
No question. He's got the only points.
The points, he's put field position again, as we discussed, back in the favor of John Carroll. He really is a big weapon for John Carroll.
And you're absolutely right when you said he influences the way the game is played, because you know he's the weapon there. Anytime you get inside the 35, that could be 3 points.
Right.
Well, let's see if Joppatowne now can get its act together. They've been, looked like they've moved a few times, but just when they get started, they seem to stall. Power I formation. Looks like somebody jumped off sides.
Coach was 75 for
Might
John
be Greg
Carroll.
Adamski, number 75. It looked like he jumped.
Just anticipating.
I don't know whether he made contact, but the official said he did.
It's funny, a fine point that you pick up at the clinics now. talking to some of the high school coaches in the county. Used to be when we played football, you keyed the front hand of the man in front of you, and now what they're doing is they're all keying the back foot, thinking that as soon as the back foot moves, you're assured that the ball snapped. Plus, it gives you an initial key as to which way the man's going to be blocking.
Jones with the ball off the left side.
Nice.
Snaked off his feet on a nice tackle. It looks like it may
52.
be number 52,
John
the
Carroll.
linebacker. And that's Matt Black, the 5'11", 200-pound senior, all-county last year, three-year lacrosse starter. He takes part in the school play. Now go ahead and call him a sissy, Frank.
Matt's a tough kid.
Yes,
and
he is.
People we talk to say he's a real heart of this defense.
He surely is.
Both linebackers.
What a
are really
nice combination to be a football player and to be an outstanding football player and participate in the school play.
That's right.
I like that
good
kind
balance.
of thing.
Good balance, Don.
Big gain of 7 yards on first down by Jones. 2nd and 3, the ball at the 44-yard line.
Nice block on the right side.
Jones struggling for yardage.
Take your hat off to John Carroll because, man, I'll tell you, Joppatowne came off the ball and had some good blocking at the point of attack, and they just closed it very quickly.
And Black again with the tackle. Picks up only a yard or two. It'll bring up another key third down. 3rd and a long 2.
Third down, Joppatowne.
There's
Ball
a big
at the
play
44.
right here, Don.
Well, it sure is. How many times can you keep going to the well and coming up dry and still you lose your heart?
Well, not a bad play selection here, even though you get questioned on it, to run play action and throw a deep route. And they've been able to get behind John Carroll on deep routes when it's predictable, let alone if you ran play action and put somebody deep. And again, I think what it's going to take for Joppatowne to get into this football game is a big play.
Frank, the breeze has picked up, and it's behind the Joppatowne Mariners. Not that Dallas Talley needs any breeze behind him to throw the ball 60 yards.
Now,
3rd down, 2 yards to go.
they'll be going
Smooth
for the
the
first
up back.
down.
Gives the ball on the reverse.
Nice play.
That's Green. Green breaks through. Finally taken down by T.D. Callahan and also by Greg Adolph, the linebacker.
And
First down and 10.
The thing you got to like about T.D. Callahan defensively is he played his responsibility. They didn't go with flow. All flow started to the right, and they came back with a counter to the left side. And a lot of people went for that play. And again, a real key block by number 75 for Joppatowne, and that's our man James Murray.
Yep.
Great block by him on that play.
This time Murray and Tillman are to the right side, along with Dave Brown, the tight end. That's a strong side to the right. Power eye with Bryant Jones, the deep back. Smooth the up back. Jones gets it off the right side. Struggling for yardage in the hands of Nick Perry. He picks up 3 or 4 down inside the 35 to about the 34.
And they're trapping with James Murray. He's involved in a lot of plays. There was a long trap from the right side, hitting inside, I should say a short trap on the inside, hitting right off the guard tag, nose guard position.
Frank, explain a trap for those who are not.
A trap, what you're simply doing is taking the offside lineman. It could be either a tackle or guard, and he pulls, and he becomes a running back, actually a blocker, and he hits the opposite lineman for John Carroll on the opposite side of the line from where he's positioned.
George Smith, the only flanker, he's wide right. Power eye backfield, tight into the near side. Give to Jones off the right side. Again, it's Adolph on the tackle.
I don't know if on a TV set and on our monitor we'll see, but you notice Joppatowne is right up on that line of scrimmage with their running backs. They're no more than about a yard off the tail of the quarterback, so they're really in position to hit the hole very quickly. If they come back to that power eye, you might want to look at that, which is kind of unique. Some coaches like a deeper profile with their running backs, deeper in the backfield, get a little more momentum. Joppatowne's really a team right now that's trying to hit the hole very quickly. Again, watch the alignment of the 3 running backs.
Big down here, 3rd down. Again, that power eye.
See how close they are to the line of scrimmage, Don.
This time we've got Tillman and Murray to the near side. This time it goes the opposite
Sweep.
way. Flag goes down. It's Jones for the first down. But let's see what the flag's all about.
You got I believe it's going to be illegal motion on the fullback, went the opposite way
Yeah,
before
that's
the ball was
exactly
snapped.
what it is, Frank. And that's going to be another. Coach Commandor's got to be saying, what else can happen? We get another first down, and that was taken away. Of course, remember the big penalty against John Carroll just a few plays ago when a big 60-yard pass play was wiped out. So
Yeah.
there have been big plays both ways.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Joppatowne shot themselves in the foot, I think, more this game than I think John Carroll has. You know, we talk about that opportunity to kick extra points, or sorry, field goals, And I would say right now, Joppatowne's been in a position where they could be up 9-3.
Third down, 8 yards to go. The ball at the 37. Still with Talley. Talley
Wide open.
caught. Nice catch, but it's going to be a short gain. The catch by Brian Smoot, the fullback. He's going to be short of the first down, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Fourth and still about 3 yards to go for the first.
It's just like a little whirly bird where they're playing action both ways, locking up the linebackers, letting everybody read run, and then coming up throwing the ball. And I'll tell you, Mr. Talley reads very quickly. He comes up, he finds his receiver, and he delivers the ball very well.
Frank, I'm going to put you in Greg Commandor's shoes. You've got fourth down and a long 3. What do you do?
Personally, I'm punting the ball. I'm just a believer. My philosophy is to keep them down as deep in their territory, let them make a mistake. If they don't turn this ball over the way John Carroll's moved the ball, John Carroll can really put them deep in the hole.
It's a fumble. It will be John Carroll's ball,
Still
regardless
up.
of who. No,
Still going.
Picked up by Joppatowne. My goodness, there he goes, and a flag goes down. The touchdown, apparent touchdown by John Hymas. Now let's see what the flag was all about. That ball squirted out like a watermelon. John Hymas picked it up, went for the touchdown. Let's see what it's all about. The flag is dropped at the 22-yard line, a clip, but it's going to be Joppatowne ball, I think.
It should be.
He picked up the first down, but let's see if they put the ball.
Mark it.
If they mark it back, it still could be fourth down. All John Carroll had to do was just fall on the ball or tackle the Joppatowne ball carrier. Instead, John Hymas came up with the ball. Looked like he went for a touchdown, but that's brought back because of the clipping penalty. Let's see if the officials say it was still part of that fourth down play, so it may remain fourth, and if so, it'll be fourth and about 8 or 9.
And again, you know, Don, just go back to your question earlier. Not knowing the circumstances of the punting game, although we have seen them punt, they punt very well.
Right.
So
this time they will punt.
Yeah.
They're doing what you asked because now they've got 8 yards to go rather than 3. Dave Brown will punt the ball away. He'll meet it from about his own 45. It's snapped high. He gets the ball.
Nice
a low
punt.
spiraling kick.
Beautiful. It's going to be right
go out of bounds at about the. See, the official's going to put it down at the 7-yard line.
Very nice.
Well done by Dave Brown as he caught that high snap and then angled it out of bounds at the 7.
Now, the other part of the question that you asked me earlier is, yeah, you punt, you put them deep, but John Carroll has shown that they sort of can drive the ball, and maybe they're acclimated to 90-yard drives.
And we have only 2:31 left in the third period, and still 3-0. That field goal by Quisgard late in the first half still stands as the only points of this ball game.
Now, what you're doing is telling your running backs, guys, do not fumble the football.
Remember, John Carroll was backed up here in the first half, and in their own end zone, T.D. Callahan ran out on a very brave bootleg, and then they went 89 yards, and eventually kicked the field goal. The give, flag goes down.
It's got to be holding.
Looks like Kevin Eldrith with the ball, but you're right, when the flag comes in, that's normally a holding call.
And just conservative football. You got a 3-0 lead, little toss sweep.
And it was a holding call, Frank, just as we suspected. And that'll bring the ball back inside the 5-yard line, half the distance, back to the 3.
And this
still first down.
Yeah, this is where you can get some easy points if you get lucky here. And I shouldn't use the word luck because luck is where skill meets opportunity.
I like that.
Yeah, and
Did you make that up?
Oh, I've always believed that. I mean, you know, there is no such thing as luck. And right here, what you have is an opportunity to turn some points over if you play real smart.
So, Frank, let me ask, though, an oblong football which bounces one way or the other is not luck?
Not if you have a kicker who can kick like...
I like it. Here's a give from in the end zone. Eldrith gets it out. Another flag goes down.
Oh.
Fumble. They're going to say the ball was down, though.
Yeah.
Big hit. Made it looks like by the defensive back, Josh McKimmey over there. Let's see what the flag's all about. Remember, last year's game was a penalty-filled game where the Mariners were penalized 255 yards.
That's not what you like to see.
No.
Kevin.
Another half the distance hold.
Kevin Eldritch deserves to have a steak dinner and be treated very nicely at home tonight. He has been a real workhorse for John Carroll today.
Frank, you're so right, too. With more opportunities for John Carroll to make a mistake down here, every time you handle the ball, it's an opportunity to turn it over.
Well, this again goes back to looking at what happens based on where the football's positioned in high school football. Pro's a totally different game. College, a different game. When you get to high school football, 80% of the high school teams are very limited if you keep them deep in their territory. And most of them, which was impressive about John Carroll today, are not capable of sustaining a 90-yard drive.
Frank, by the way, Joppatowne turned down that penalty, so it is second down, 2nd and 11, rather than 1st and 13. Callahan, split backfield this time. Ireton to give us to Eldrith. Eldrith off the left side, pinched in by that Joppatowne defensive line.
Just running a simple power to just stand with simple football at this point.
3rd down.
Trying to set up to get some yardage, enough to get their punter out of the end zone maybe and get the ball out of there.
3rd down and 9, inside a minute now, or coming up on a minute left in the 3rd period. Again, if you just tuned in, it's John Carroll 3, Joppatowne nothing. This is the opening game of the year for Joppatowne. John Carroll trying to avenge a loss last week to St. Paul's. They're 0-1, trying to even their record. Of course, Joppatowne trying to get off to a good start. Callahan, one back behind him, actually 2 backs now. Back to throw from his own end zone. Gets it off, it's going to be incomplete. He had Ireton open. Had Ireton been able to make that catch, he was going to go all the way.
Yeah, well, the ball got tipped slightly at the line of scrimmage. That was an S pattern, square out and up, and it was there. He was open. Now, the other thing, Don, and you made a point of this at the get-go of our telecast, that extra game for John Carroll really does pay off. You know, that extra preparation of playing in a football game, getting accustomed to the circumstances that happen out on the field have really played in the hands of John Carroll today.
Here's Quisgard's punt. He angles it toward the out of bounds. A flag goes down right away. It's going to stay in bounds and bounce finally out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Let's see what the flag is over about the 30-yard line. Joppatowne coach, 1st down for John Carroll. It's going to be, let's see, they're going to say illegal participation, and that's going to give John Carroll a 1st down.
Yeah, that's a tough call against Joppatowne right there.
1st down, John Carroll.
That's one of those calls that an official can choose to overlook, but technically they were right. The Joppatowne player who was leaving the field didn't get off the field in time, and so they threw the flag.
And you need offensive time. The shame of it is, you're Joppatowne right now. You need as much offensive time as you can get. You don't want to give the ball to John Carroll with a 3-0 lead and let them eat up 5 or 6 minutes of the clock.
Illegal participation is the call, and that'll take the ball out to the 21-yard line on a 15-yard penalty. 28 seconds left in the 3rd period. Callahan, who's gone all the way. Ireton, the wing back to the left.
Motion.
Ireton coming our way.
Toss
Eldrith
sweep.
with the ball.
Nice blocks.
To the near side, he's going to
Nice
be taken
block.
off his feet. Good tackle made by Hymas, coming up from his safety position.
Nice blocks right at the point of attack. The backside, if they would have held on to their blocks, it would have been even a bigger gain. It was the backside pursuit that stopped that play. But you got to feel good because, once again, that's a 5-yard play. Hit it again, you got a 1st down. And the thing that surprised me is these teams have not continued to come back to the same play until somebody stops it. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to just run the play again.
That is the end of the 3rd period. Frank running to the near side, running to the short side of the field. You like that?
We did a lot of that when I was at Edgewood because most defenses are defending to the wide side of the field, not the strong side. A lot of teams nowadays are playing football to shrink the field down, and they're offsetting their defenses to the wide side. So to come back offensively to that short side is a good play selection, even with passes.
Well, now we have the last 12 minutes of this football game coming up. And if Joppatowne does lose this ball game, and they're losing now by 3-0, Coach Condor is just going to be beside himself because of all the opportunities that they've had.
No doubt about it. You know, you made a very good point in regard to anyone who's been in coaching, no matter what game it is. When the opportunities are there and you don't cash in on them, they're going to come back to haunt you most of the time. unless you're an exceptional team. And right now, Joppatowne's had 4, maybe 5 opportunities to get some points, and they've missed out on all of them. And we're in the last 12 minutes, the 4th quarter of this football game. And the fatigue factor starts coming in, and then the question marks start coming up in your mind.
Frank, of course, Coach Sean Ireton of John Carroll would say the same thing about last year, against last week, I should say, against St. Paul's, when they lost 7-0, had the ball inside the 20 a couple of times, fumbled. So he feels as though that was a game they should have won last week.
Sure, no doubt about it.
So here we go, the 4th period, 12 minutes left. Ireton, or check it, actually Eldrith with the ball off the right side. Little happening on the right side, 2nd down. That'll make it 3rd and about 3.
6, 7, 1.
Inside, 11:45 left in the game. Bring up a key 3rd down play, 3rd and a long 1, the ball at the 30-yard line.
Oh, you got a 3rd and 1, and again, John Carroll, the important thing here is you got to watch clock management. They ate up a lot of clock against Joppatowne in that 3rd quarter, and you cannot afford to let them eat up the clock again here in the 4th quarter.
Morgan Loman in the ball game, number 43.
3rd and 1.
He'll be the tight end or the flanker on that side.
Okay, Joppatowne staying with a 4-man line.
Eldrith the deep back. Ireton in motion.
4-3.
It's a quarterback sneak. He's stacked up, but I think he may have gotten some penetration.
Well, that extra surge got it.
That's the 7th play of this drive. Started at the 7-yard line, and indeed it is a 1st down. Good penetration there, and good surge by Jay Bloodsworth, Greg Adamski, Mark Falagi, and Tim Goebel along that offensive line for John Carroll. That's a big 1st down right there. Had they not made it, they'd have had to punt.
It is, and once again, you know, what they're doing is just simple football. You know, at any time, they have the capability of throwing that out or down and up pattern, so you got to be honest if you're Joppatowne.
Hardesty flank to the near side. I backfield. Eldrith a deep back. In motion is Ireton from the far side to the near side. The pitch back, that's Eldrith.
Again, good block, a little.
Got a man to beat on the near side. Good tackle made by Donnell Nelson. Takes him out of bounds, but not before Eldrith picks up about 7 or 8 yards. Looks like Eldrith may be down a while on the sideline. Maybe it's a cramp.
He's got a cramp. He's rubbing his calf or leg. It is a calf, thank God.
Because he lost if he's not able to return quickly, Frank.
Like I say, he's worked hard the whole football game.
There's a flag down here at midfield, too, we just noticed.
Might have been a hold, Don. The block.
Talking to Dave Brown. And
yeah, well, Dave Brown was, I think, the man who was held. Dave was trying to scrape out a man in order to prevent him from scraping, and Dave's just an excellent linebacker-type football player. Was held just enough, I think, and that was a good call by the official.
And Eldrith up and walking on the sideline, limping a bit. It does look like it's could be a cramp. Very warm day here. That kind of thing happens. It is a holding penalty. Instead of an 8-yard gain, it's a 15-yard, 10-yard loss. Wipe out the 8-yard gain, tackle on the 10-yard loss. It actually ends up being an 18-yard loss all the way back to the 14-yard line. 1st down and 10 at the 14. They've got to get all the way out to the 44-yard line for a 1st down. So it's actually 1st down and 20. Trainer for John Carroll showing young Mr. Eldrith, Kevin Eldrith, how to stretch out that hamstring and that calf muscle. Frank, been a wonderful game to kick off our 2000 coverage of the Harford County sports here on the Harford Cable Network. Just exactly what we'd hope we'd have, one of those competitive games.
Yep, outstanding football game, beautiful day for it, too.
Rich is the deep back.
Pass.
Callahan to throw
Looking
deep.
long, and he's got it.
Open, caught, complete, down at the 40-yard line. Taken down by McKimmey, but not before a big 1st down play.
Guess what, Don?
That's what you've been calling for.
But another flag.
Oh, it's going to come back.
It's coming back.
Timeout. The officials are going to say it is another holding call. The John Carroll faithful, of which there are many,
let me tell you what,
happy about it.
This could sneak up on you right now. You've got, slowly but surely, two big breaks for Joppatowne, and now the ball is slowly moving back in the wrong direction.
I'm sure.
A very nice call by John Carroll. Coach Ireton really did a nice job of setting that play up. It was there.
You know, Frank, we talk about officials not wanting to insert themselves into a game. On the other hand, if it's occurring out there, you have to call it.
Yeah, you have to call it, and it makes it, made a difference. If the quarterback had the time to throw the ball due to the fact that somebody was held, that's their job. And again, John Carroll's got to be very cautious here because they're slowly moving in the wrong direction.
First and 30 at the 14. Callahan with the ball, has time, gets it up. It's up for grabs. It's going to be, let's see, almost intercepted and now incomplete. Going up for the ball was the tight end on that side. That's Derek Hardesty. Playing defense was Donnell Nelson. They went up for a jump ball. Neither one was able to corral it.
Yeah. Callahan, I tell you, I just really enjoy watching both the quarterbacks, but Callahan, beautiful pass, nice touch, and they're getting behind the defensive backs. Kind of a gutsy call by coach, to throw the ball up.
T.D. Callahan, a junior, as is Dallas Talley, also a junior. Two quarterbacks who've been impressive today. And, that's hard to say when the score is 3-0. You think, how can quarterbacks be impressive? But they really have been.
They have. They're throwing the ball well. It's really mistakes that have, affected the performance of the quarterbacks in executing the offense down the field.
Second down, 30 yards to go. Morgan Lohman, 43. In motion is Kevin Eldrith. Callahan back to throw without a
fly
fake.
pattern. He's
looking
there
down the
too.
middle. It's going to be almost intercepted and knocked down. Up high to knock the ball down was George Smith, the 6'1", 175-pound defensive back. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 30.
That pass was underthrown, certainly. He had the receiver behind, and the receiver had to come back for the football.
And he was rolling to his left and tried to throw the ball back across his body. Other than John Elway, I've never seen a quarterback able to do that with any consistency.
Yeah. It's easier going to your right to throw backside than to go to your left if you're right-handed. There's no doubt about it.
And the ball was up there for a long time.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure that was the primary receiver. They had a deep route up the sideline that was there also.
The other hand, had it been intercepted, it would have been like a punt. The ball would have been at the 50-yard line.
Yeah,
so
that's why I would anticipate another pass here.
Eldrith, the lone back. Actually, now we check and see Adolph behind. The give to the first man through. And that is Greg Adolph, who picks up very little yardage, and that's a concession that it looks like they're ready to punt the ball away.
Don, have you noticed how little offensive time Joppatowne's had? And they're going to get the ball with about 9 or 8 minutes left in this football game, and they've got to make something happen, and they're going to have very good field position. This is where they would, if you're a coach and you're at this point in the game, this is where you want to be receiving the ball.
Nick Quisgard to punt it away.
And they've got to field this punt. I mean, the biggest thing you're telling your Joppatowne returners are field the ball. Do not let it hit the ground.
That's Donnell Nelson. High kick coming to the near side. It's going to go out of bounds. Quisgard gets a high kick with no return, but in truth, I'm sure he would not be real happy with that ball.
Well, it is sort of nice in that you have no chance of a return on it. And they might fear the return team, the speed and the
the Joppatowne stands are not real happy about where the officials put the ball out of bounds. They put it out of bounds on the 45-yard line of John Carroll. They seem to think it went out of bounds a bit further up the field. In any event, with, as you said, Frank, 9 minutes and 1 second left, Joppatowne will take the ball over on the 45 of John Carroll. They need to put some points on the board. There's your basic understatement of the year. Down 3-0. Now, whether this will be the last time they have the ball or not, as you said, with John Carroll's ball control offense, if they don't score, John Carroll gets it back. That could be all.
Yeah. Well, it changes your style of defense, too. Certainly if John Carroll gets the ball back in this last 9 minutes, you're going to see some ball tackling instead of form tackling. But right now, they've got time to get themselves composed. They need one good drive, and they haven't had one for quite a while. So it's somewhere in there. There's the potential for them to move the football down the field. The question is, how are they going to do it? Are they going to go power I, or are they going to come out throwing a football?
Just got a chance to see some of the fans in the stands here. It's a nice crowd here at John Carroll. You know, I like the night football games, Frank, but there's something about a Saturday afternoon game in the sunshine in the fall or early or late summer.
Well, if you're a coach, you love the Friday night football games because it certainly gives you less time, less practice, and the week goes pretty quick. That extra day really is drudgery.
The cutback, looking for some yardage.
Nice
Doug
effort.
Green. Green
That's
had
good,
it hemmed
4 or
off
5
the left
yards.
side and then was able to come back to the right side and pick up, as you said, Frank, about 5 yards.
But nothing really happened. It's still, even though it's a nice 5 yards, you're not feeling comfortable if you're a coach because that kid had to work real hard, and you're not going to be able to keep doing that on a drive. They got to start getting blocks. They got to hold their blocks. What I mean by hold is sustain their blocks, keep their feet moving if they're going to run the football. Otherwise, they're better off just running their play action and throwing the ball up.
Doug Green, 5'7", 175 pounds.
If they can get another 4-5 and then come back on a 3rd down with a pass situation, I think they set themselves up pretty nicely.
Jones on the reverse now.
Oh, man.
First down, nice work by Doug Green. The fake to Jones coming on the right side, the hand on the reverse.
I'll
Green,
tell you what.
Hurt on the play, he's going to limp off.
Brendan Ireton, what a play. He just stayed at home and made a real nice tackle. That could have been a big play for Joppatowne
As it was,
if it wasn't for number 12.
5.5-yard gain, Frank, for a first down. And you're right, it could have gone all the way because that reverse motion had the flow going this way.
I like it. I think Joppatowne's got to open up a little bit. Reverse, run the wing T, what they showed a little bit earlier.
First down and 10, just beyond the 35-yard line, inside the 35. That's Jones.
Nice block by 39. Just got to stay on his block.
Smoot. That's Brian Smoot.
Yeah, Brian needs to just stay on that block. He made a great block. He had good position, but he didn't maintain it. And I don't know who made the tackle, Don, but that was another great defensive play. Bryant Jones, great play to get off that block and make that tackle. He was the only one there to stop it.
Looked like Falagi may have been the one who made the tackle, number 60. Second down, 3 yards to go, a long 3. The ball inside the 30-yard line at about the 28. This is Jones off the left side. He's got the first down.
I'll tell you, it was a good play, but on that 2nd and 4, that again was a good opportunity to throw the ball for the big play into the end zone because, again, you're looking for the run. You got 2 more shots after that to get that first down.
7 minutes left in this ball game, and now inside 7 minutes and counting. John Carroll leading by 3-0. They scored on a field goal from 27 yards at 2:20 left in the first half. That by Nick Quisgard. That's been the only points all game long. Dallas Talley going all the way at
There's absolutely no
quarterback.
safety back there, Don. Look at the defensive back. You can't see it on a TV set.
And James Murray gets the count wrong and jumps offside. And boy, when that happens, you're the only one out there that the TV picks up, and you like to hide, but you can't.
Yeah. Well, that defense, and again, point I was going to make about why I talk about passing the ball. There's positions on the field that are ideal to throw the ball based on down and distance and also where you're located. Where they are now, they have plenty of field in front of them to throw a pass.
Wait, now they call offside against John Carroll. Wow, I thought James Murray had jumped offside. I apologize, James. James did jump, but they're saying that instead John Carroll had jumped early.
Now, John Carroll is going to be going to a goal line type defense here.
1st and 5, the ball at the 14-yard line. Check it at the 19-yard line. Pitch back to Jones. He cuts
Nice
it inside.
cutback.
Staying on his feet. Ireton came up and forced the play. Jones cut back and picked up 2 or 3.
Nice cutback. Beautiful play.
Bryant Jones, the county's leading ball carrier last year as a junior. Nick Perry picks himself, actually it's Falagi, Mark Falagi, who picks himself off the ground after making the tackle.
The one kid we haven't seen handle the ball, and I'm surprised this game, is Talley. Talley has a good arm, but I think also with that power eye, you've got extra blockers, and he looks like a kid who can really motor. So I'm really kind of surprised we haven't seen him just keep the ball on a quarterback-type sweep.
Dallas Talley, number 19, the 5'10", 170-pounder. He's just a junior. Power eye backfield. To give to Jones off the left side. He's got close to first down yardage. Stood up on the right side. Looks like it may have been Greg Adolph. And that's who it was who made the tackle.
First down, Don.
First down and 10. The ball now inside the 15 at about the 14.
All right,
that clock continues to run, Frank, at 5:33 and counting.
Yeah, we've got the field shrinking down. And again, we have no idea what type of a field goal kicking game Joppatowne has.
The only kick we saw was when James Murray squibbed the opening kickoff. First down and 10. The ball at the 14.
Oh, they
That's
weren't even
Jones,
ready.
flag.
I don't know what was
Holding.
going on there. Joppatowne's line wasn't even set.
Well, we'll call holding. It may have been illegal procedure. Thrown by the back judge. You normally think that's a hold, and that's what it is. And that's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
Typical high school football at times, isn't it? Yeah, your own worst enemy is yourself.
You don't expect to see a hold on a quick snap and a quick hitter that way, but the back judge saw that hold.
Oh, we got a boatload of yards now. You got a 1st and 20.
Yep, 1st and 20 back at the 24. That was Larry Yoakum who made that call, the back judge. Now they may open it up. Let's see. Still with the ball tallied.
He's got him wide open.
He's open. He gets the catch.
Turn and run. It's been here the whole game.
Could be a touchdown. And there it is. Touchdown for Jeff Bates, number 32, who filtered out of the backfield. And just like Frank Mazzanotti had called it, he goes in for the touchdown from 24 yards out.
It's been here the whole series. John Carroll was in a very tight defensive alignment to stop the run against that power eye. It's been there.
No flags on the field, but a timeout now called for Joppatowne as they want to think about what they need to do here.
I think that's their second timeout, Don.
Frank, if they kick the extra point or score that 1 point, of course, they take Quizguard out of the game.
Yeah.
If they stay at 6, then Quizguard can tie the game up and force an overtime. Big decision now. If you have confidence in your kicker, you go for that 1 point. 24-yard touchdown pass coming at 4:47 from Dallas Talley to Jeff Bates. A 24-yard touchdown pass that puts Joppatowne up by 6-3. Frank, one whale of a football game, despite and regardless of which team wins. I know if you're John Carroll, winning is all important. If you're Joppatowne, the same thing. But as an impartial observer, this has been exactly what we wanted to see, and that is competitive, hard-nosed, good sportsmen, great football game here at John Carroll.
And you talk about the intangibles, and we've been talking about John Carroll's advantage of having a game under their belt, but then with that loss, there's that intangible of that doubt in your mind, can we win a football game?
Gus DeBlasi in to attempt the extra point. Dallas Talley will put it down. It's going to be blocked.
Wow.
No chance at all. Blocked by Greg Adolph, also Nick Perry. That play was very slow developing, and right up the middle.
Right through the middle, just way too much penetration. You got to cut your splits down. If you got to go toe-to-toe, make them come from the outside. There's no excuse for that to happen on an extra point.
I'm sure if Greg Commandor had it to do over, he may try the 2-point conversion just because he may have had as much chance of success doing 2 points.
Well, right now, you got a real chance if you're John Carroll, get this game tied up.
Of course, that's assuming they don't go for the touchdown, but what we're saying is early in the ball game, Mr. Nick Quizguard was lined up for a 52-yard field goal. They have that much confidence in this young kicker.
Well, I'm not a gambling man, but I'll tell you, I think this game is going to come down to a field goal attempt by John Carroll. Now, if you're Joppatowne, what you got to be thinking is you can't give them good field position off this kickoff. So they've got to get downfield, really get on people very quickly. You don't want to kick the ball out of bounds and get a penalty. You got to get the ball in play, but you also don't want to let John Carroll get any type of field position and make them work.
James Murray squibbed it in the first kick of the ball game, the only time we've seen him kick, I should say. And here is Murray approaching the ball. This time he hits it deep. All the way downfield.
Now you got to get downfield.
That's Ryan Cavey. Cavey still on his feet, struggling for yardage up to the 29-yard line. And that's where John Carroll will put the ball in play. 4:44 and counting left in this football game.
A lot of time, baby. A lot of time left in this game.
First down, John Carroll, the 30-yard line.
Ball just short of that 30-yard line. Call it the 29-yard line where John Carroll will put the ball in play. Now the scoreboard has gone dead on us. Now that's not nice. Therefore, we have no idea how much time is left.
I'm looking around making sure I didn't hit the wire, Don.
Now it's coming back on. It's flashing, though.
You're going to see some pass here.
T.D. Callahan gives it off to the deep back. That's Rich. He's going to be hit and taken down on a nice tackle. Let's see who gets tackle credit.
Oh, number 75.
James Murray.
James Murray having a great game today.
You know,
right there.
Mr. Eldrith is only 160 pounds. And James Murray bench presses 370 pounds.
Yeah, you gotta say nowadays these football players get in that weight room, and you gotta love lifting weights.
Again, because of technical difficulties with the scoreboard, the time is now being kept on the field.
The time will be kept on the field from this point, so we'll try to keep you updated on how much time is left. At the point when our scoreboard went dead, as far as the time is concerned, it was about 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
And that would drive a coach crazy. Well, I mean, I hated when I was on the sideline and the clock was not on the field.
6-3, Joppatowne leading. Touchdown pass from Talley to Bates puts Joppatowne ahead. Resetting from one side to the other is Morgan Lohman. High backfield. Eldrith, the deep back, gets the ball.
Oh, sweep.
McKimmey hymns it in. Murray comes in, finishes it off.
I'm just really surprised, Donna, they've chose that play. I just think if I had Callahan, I'd have him throwing the ball.
Murray and Randy Solly come in to make the tackle, and that is a loss of 1. That'll bring up a 3rd down and about 10 or almost 11 yards to go. 6-3 our score. Have no idea how much time left at this point. It's probably somewhere near the 3-minute mark. John Carroll doesn't seem to be in any big hurry just yet. 3rd down, 11 to go. Eldrith, the deep back. Ireton resetting from the near side to the far side. T.D. Callahan, the quarterback. 6 foot, 175 pound, and now a flag. Delay of game, and that's going to cost them 5. Coach Sean Ireton can't be happy about that.
That's tough.
You're battling the clock, and you also need yards, and the last thing you want to do is let that clock run out. Morgan Lohman in the ball game. Lohman and Derek Hardesty have been alternating. They've been bringing in the plays from the bench of John Carroll all day long. Big play here. 3rd down, a long 15. They've got to get up almost to the 40-yard line, do the Patriots.
Oh, that's motion on John Carroll.
That'll cost them
Number
5
23. More. He's closest to the official, of course.
Matt Nicodemus, who's had a good ball game this time, though. He's
just trying to get off. You know, it's a pass route. He's trying to get out of there as quickly as possible, get into his route.
And Frank, does fatigue not only physically but mentally begin to take over at this time?
Well, it's certainly, you know, both go hand in hand. But more importantly, you know, you've played a great football game, and you get into the 4th quarter, and boom, all of a sudden you're behind by 3 points. So right now, you know, like I say, it just changes. The field position is bad for John Carroll. The play selection is limited here.
3rd and 21 from the 20. Callahan back to throw. Throws it up for grabs. He's open but overthrown. Looking for Matt Nicodemus playing defense on that side.
It's just very tough to make pass routes and run pass plays on an obvious pass situation.
Donnell Nelson playing the defensive side, and that's going to bring up 4th down and likely a punting situation. We say likely because maybe with 2.5 minutes left or something like that, this could be the last time John Carroll would see the ball.
Definitely, you got to punt the ball.
That'll bring in Nick Quisgard.
What you can't do if you're Joppatowne is you can't get sucked in on a fake punt.
There's the snap. End over end. They're going to let it hit, and it's going to take a nice roll for John Carroll, and it'll go down dead at the 25-yard line. I know, Frank, you like to see those receivers handle the ball, but in this case, I guess Coach Commandor said, let it roll. All we got to do is keep the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't hurt you, but, you know, once again, the field position here, an error, and, boy, you're in field goal kicking.
And count up the yards again. That kick was from about the 15 line of scrimmage all the way down to the 25. So that's a 60-yard punt.
Quisgard would drive me crazy even right now if I was on offense, because you just know he's on that sideline, and any mistake, any fumble, and boom, they could bring him on, just tie this ball game right up.
Absolutely.
What you want to do, we have no idea what time is left in the game, Don, but I would say if Joppatowne get themselves 2 first downs, they're going to be in good shape to carry this thing through.
Well, you tell them both hands around the football. Look for Bryant Jones, the big running back, to get the ball. He's the tailback in this power I formation. Off the left side, struggling for yardage. Hemmed in, and you can tell one man is tackling the player and two people are tackling the ball.
And John Carroll's tradition has always been great at that. I just can't tell you, the years I was coaching at Edgewood, I don't think I remember a team that was better than John Carroll at causing fumbles in the fourth quarter with 2 or 3 minutes left in the ball game. And that was just something their coaching staff worked at, and they took a lot of pride in.
Late in this football game, and again, we'd like to tell you how much time is left, but the scoreboard at the exact wrong time has gone dead on us. We think maybe somewhere around 2 minutes, perhaps. Joppatowne leading by 6-3. They have the ball, 2nd down and 7 at the 28-yard line. Flag down. That's Green with the football. He's got a first down if it stands. Doug Green.
Man.
Let's see what the call is going to be. Backfield in motion. That'll wipe that out. And bring up a 2nd down and about 13 yards to go.
Coach Conondor's got to be happy, but I mean, his kids, the whole football game faced adversity, and that's the neat part about athletics. I just think it's an aspect of high school where these kids face adversity every day in practice, out on the field, and his kids just happen to be able to stay steady, pull it off at the end of the football game.
2nd down, 14 yards to go.
Again.
Another backfield in motion. It looked like Brian Smoot stood up prematurely, and that'll cost him another 5 yards. And Frank, you said it. The closer they get to their own goal line, even if they punt the ball away, it brings Mr. Quizgard into contention.
Yep, Greg is pleading with his kids. I mean, go on one. He's saying no to snap count. But at this point, just go on one. Don't even worry about 2 or 3. Let's just get off the football.
Still 2nd down, but now it's 2nd down and 21 yards to go, or actually 19 to go. The ball back at the 17-yard line. They've got to get out to the 35 for a first down.
I wish I didn't have much time was left, because this is going to play a real important part as to whether John Carroll gets that shot at a field goal attempt.
The keep this time by Jones. Actually, the handoff from Talley to Jones. Good faking it. I was looking for Doug Green to have the football. He carried out his fake very well, but Bryant Jones kept it.
I don't know if John Carroll has a timeout left to stop the clock. Yeah, they do. No, they're not taking it. They do have a timeout left.
3rd down and 11 yards to go. First down is important here, but hold on to the football. Now, if they don't pick up the first down and you're John Carroll, now finally a timeout. Timeout finally called by John Carroll. And again, if you were going to call the timeout, you may want to have called it right away, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They should have got that timeout right off the get-go.
But anyhow, they do stop the clock, which gives me a chance to ask my question. If they don't get the first down and Joppatowne goes back in punting formation, do you try to block the punt, or you try to set up for a return and get Quizgard in position to kick the tying field goal?
I would, with the way they're punting the football, that's Joppatowne, I would definitely set up for a return, because they don't get any hang time on the ball, and all they got to do is block, like I talked about earlier. Number 44 has been getting down the field. That's David Brown, I'm sorry. And they got to get somebody out on him, try to stop that penetration of field, catch the ball, get a good return, and just 2 or 3 maybe running plays, or if they feel they have that overload pattern, run that overload and get a couple of yards that way and just bring the kicker on and let's go for it.
Well, here we go. And we've got a man in deep defensive position is Smoot. Are they going to punt on 3rd down? Nope. They just simply snap the ball and look like they're...
Now, what I would do here is I would take another delay of game. Okay? Right here, I would just stay in the huddle and wind that clock. Again, we have no idea what the time is, so that would help out.
4th down.
I think the game's over.
Let's see now.
They're
looking at the clock, and they're saying that is the football game. The game is over, and the Joppatowne Mariners have won this football game by 6-3. What a revenge factor for Joppatowne. They lost a football game on this field a couple of years ago, Frank, which was a tremendous loss after leading late in the ball game. And now, trailing this entire game, they come back and win it by 6-3 and go 1-0. Meantime, John Carroll will fall to 0-2.
Yeah, it's a tough loss for John Carroll. A big win for Joppatowne. And I'll tell you, they are a team this year, as Coach said, they're hoping to go 500, but they are a team that's going to play some degree of reckon in regard to who wins the county championship. They're a good enough football team to beat anybody in this county.
And John Carroll now, of course, has to begin again their MIAA B division schedule next week, coming off an 0-2 start. And that's going to be tough for Sean Ireton to get his team back up. A whale of a football game here today. Final score 6-3. Joppatowne wins it. 3-0 lead at halftime by John Carroll, and Nick Quisgard's 27-yard field goal with 2:20 left. And then finally, after many, many opportunities, Joppatowne breaks through on a 24-yard touchdown pass. Dallas Talley to Jeff Bates, 4:47 left in the game. The kick was blocked, and that is the final score. Joppatowne 6 and John Carroll 3. Frank Mazzanotti, thanks very much for your expert commentary today. Your insight is always invaluable.
Oh, I appreciate working with you, Don. It was a fun game to do. Kids really played a hard football game, both sides. And again, it's one of these things where you walk away from it and you feel bad. Either team, could have come out with a win today. Fortunately for Joppatowne, it was their team. And John Carroll had a nice drive. There's some things that they could build off of. That 90-yard drive was outstanding. Unfortunately, they didn't come up with a touchdown off of that drive. And they'll reflect back, and what they'll all do is go back to the drawing board and try to polish and refine what they did today and make it just a little bit better.
Well, Joppatowne breaking on top, and I think this may be the first time they won their opening game in a number of years.
Yes, it is.
As they do the, I guess that's the Joppatowne flop, perhaps, that you saw on screen there. They certainly didn't flop during the ball game, winning by 6-3. And now next week, they'll host Harford Tech in a game that we'll be privileged to bring you here on the Harford Cable Network in the new stadium at Joppatowne after being a year away from their stadium while the field and the stadium was redone. They'll be back home next week. So that's our score here from John Carroll. Joppatowne wins by a final score of 6-3. We'll be back with some post-game interviews and more comments in just a moment. Well, we're just moments after an exciting football game here to open our 2000 Harford County High School football season. The Joppatowne Mariners avenging 5 losses against John Carroll as they open the season. This is the first time they defeated John Carroll in a one whale of a football game. Before, as you can tell by the young men surrounding me, a little bit of a hot conditions. Though, James, I understand that yours is not really perspiration. You got the benefit of some water dumped on you.
Yeah, I tailback Bryant Jones, a little too excited, dumped a bucket of water on me. Said I looked hot, so I don't mind it. I was hot.
So a teammate doing exactly what he had to do. James, you and your brother out there, it seemed like all day long the ball was coming behind you. Is that something John Carroll, I should say Joppatowne, does all the time?
Well, usually we try to run behind the beef and the strength of the offensive line. And we use our sophomores too, but we like to run to the power side a lot more because we seem to get a lot more yards that way. So we like to spread it around a lot too.
Well, a good, tough football game. I should introduce before we start Brian Smoot to my left, Dave Brown also to my left, and then Jeff Bates and James Murray, people who played the key roles in the game. Jeff, you caught the touchdown pass that was the game winner. We talked about that being the dream, the things that dreams are made of.
Coach Wobble just called a great play. He knows his stuff. We've been working on that play a lot in practice, and it just opened up for us.
And you were all alone. I guess that runs through your mind. Whatever you do, don't let me drop this pass.
Yeah, when you're open like that, you have too much to think about right then.
Well, you pulled it in. It was a great pass by Dallas and put it right where he had to be, and you ran it in.
Dallas was a good quarterback, gave me a perfect pass, and the line just blocked well. We were able to execute.
Dave, it was a tough ball game because it looked like for a long time that field goal was going to stand up and you're going to lose another tough one.
It's just a hard game. John Carroll had in there pretty good. We just held on to the end of it and just pulled away with the victory. But John Carroll's going to have a good season. Looks like a tough, hard team, and just looking towards the future of Joppatowne winning maybe county championship or something like that in the future.
You know, we talked about North Harford last year coming out of nowhere and tying for the county championship. So the precedent certainly has been set for a surprise team like, say, Joppatowne, though I don't want to put that target on your back, but you guys have as good a chance as anyone.
I think we have we have a great chance just like everybody else in the county. I mean, we come out to summer camp and work hard. It's just, it takes the whole team. It's a team effort. Everyone comes out ready to play.
Now, Brian, you have that thankless job of being the up back for Bryant Jones and for Green and so forth. How do you like being the blocking back?
I like being the blocking back, but I tell you what, it's nice having a sophomore backup like Jeff. He came in, took over for me, and got the job done.
That's very good. Now, Bryant, of course, injured, but he gave you a lot of good yardage today as well.
Yes, sir. I mean, he's a hard runner. He's hard to stop. He showed it last year, and he showed it this year.
Let's talk about Harford Tech. I'm not even going to let you enjoy this victory very long. Harford Tech, a team that's going to come in next week, sort of not touted very high. Jeff, what about them? I called you Jeff. I called you the right name. Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
Jeff. You know, it'll be our first game at home after not playing there. Last year, Harford Tech's going to be looking for an upset, and we're going to try and make sure that doesn't happen.
And of course, you're opening your new stadium after being away for a year. You have Channel 2 down there. It's going to be one of those exciting, motivating events. And coming off this big win, it should be a great weekend in Mariner country.
We have to carry this momentum. You know, it's going to be a circus again, but I think this team, you know, that's right. We execute during practice, execute during the games. That's all it's about.
Yeah, I heard Brian say you don't take anyone lightly because any team can come up and beat you.
Any given day, anybody can win. That's how you got to look at every game.
You all came out pretty healthy, I think. Nobody got banged up too badly this ball game.
No, sir, no injuries. Everyone was healthy, and we're just ready for Harford Tech now.
Work hard this week and try and get another one next week.
Well, congratulations to all four of you and to the entire team, and good luck to you against Harford Tech. We'll see you down there for once we get a chance to do Joppatowne back-to-back games. Thanks very much. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay. Now, you just saw, again, these four young people talking about the game and talking about their game coming up against Harford Tech. Joppatowne Mariners winning by a score of 6-3 today. Recapping the scores for you, not too hard to do. First half, 2:20 left in the first half. A field goal by Nick Quisgard from 27 yards out. That put John Carroll up by 3-0. And then in the fourth period, 4:47 left in the ball game from Dallas Talley to Jeff Bates. A 24-yard touchdown pass. The kick was blocked, and that is the final score of 6-3. Of course, as you watch this ball game, many opportunities for both teams, lots of fumbles down close, but it was an exciting football game and a great way to open our season. Next week, as you heard, we'll have the Harford Tech Cobras going against the Joppatowne Mariners. That at Joppatowne as we open the new Joppatowne Stadium. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to the Harford Cable Network crew. Thanks to Frank Mazzanotti, to Jerry O'Brien, the athletic director.